Welcome to the mind of LANCESCURV, the most creatively profound man in cyberspace.
Welcome back to another episode of LANCESCURV. I have to tell you, when people feel bad, people feel down, I'm feeling great right now. You're feeling great in your mental, your spiritual, emotional, and physical health. These are all different categories that some areas can run down on and some can be high on. And the planets have lined up for me tonight, and I'm just smiling from ear to ear. I feel so good on so many levels, getting good news again on personal levels. And I'm just happy to be here with you. I really mean that. I had a lot of stuff to do today and got it done. Now, why is a horsefly flying in front of my computer as soon as I went live and trying to get my ears? There's always one of these bugs, whether it's a insect or a human being. Let me know if you can hear the sound. I'm going to put in the chat room sound check. In the past, we had some issues with the sound, and I have a quick remedy from it or for it, right? So let's make sure that the sound is going on good before I go on to tell you what transpired today, even before the good news came in. And it wasn't anything negative, I just put sound check. Okay, good. Queen Marat Rogers. Yes. Thank you so much. Melisha Hare, Deborah Lee, Movado 242. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. It's a drone. It's a spirit. It's a something, and it's not going to get in my way. I just have to say that personally, I'm an energy transformer. If you give me positive energy, I will produce positive energy out of that. If you give me negative energy, right, or you try to slow me down or stop me or whatever, I will take that and transform it into positive energy. So the negative energies, they always get mad because we always find a way to come through. And I'm quite sure. Jack Griffin in the house. Yes. Inside joke, y'all. Anyway, I'm feeling good. And this is not going to be a 5-hour show, but I just want to say that on this platform, we're going to upgrade, make things better. I looked at some of my videos from like maybe 14 years ago, and I'm like, oh man, they're so cheesy. But that's growth. And when you overcome obstacles, when you have obstacles put on you, trust me, that's the universe's way of letting you know. And I'm not into any weird religions when I say the universe. I'm just saying the universe to encompass all the belief systems that people have here. So I'm not going to go down the list and say Muslim, Christian, Judaism, Buddhism. No, I'm not going to do that. The universe's way of having you or deeming you worthy for the new breakthrough. Jack Griffin. Bishop Gary L. Brown, thank you so much for the confirmation. And I never or you got me with that one like a body punch I wasn't ready for, right? But it's good to be alive. It's good to know that while we are alive, and we will always be alive when we do the right thing, whether we transition off this level or not, that we have a mission and we have something to do, large or small. If it's small and not acknowledged by the world around us, it is still very important. And before I get into the topic, I just want to say, when you look at a watch, an expensive watch, right? That watch, the faceplate, we give the credit to. Like, wow, that's a beautiful watch, man, look at that, the gold and the pretty hour hand and minute hand going around. But it's those tiny little unseen gears in the back that never get credit, but it's keeping that time precise. So if you happen to be in that position where you're not getting acknowledgement by the world, understand that you are important and crucial, because to remove you, you'll see how things don't work. You understand? Some of us want to be on the face plate. Some of us don't mind being behind the scenes. I like a little bit of both. I don't need to be center stage. I can do my work. Like I say, a lot of time I put into this thing and upgrading things and making things better. And that's what it's all about for me. and I can deal with the attention, but I don't have to be out there, my face out there. It is out there, but that is not a need. I had enough of that in this life, so I don't need that. There's no deficiency in my old behind ego. You know what I mean? I'm cool that way. But I just want to say that today, and it's funny because this dude reached out to me earlier, but it's not really him. What do I mean by that? Well, here I am on TikTok. And again, when I'm on social media platforms, trust me, I'm doing distribution and finding out different ways of sharing the content on different platforms. Because as you well know, me and YouTube got a thing going on. They don't like me too much, but that's okay. That's okay. It's a big world out here. Work ethic and commitment and drive and focus. You can't beat it. Like a laser. Focus in and keep going. Right? Every challenge has a solution. So I'm sitting up here looking at some tutorials, figuring some things out, about to go and do some better things. And all of a sudden, I should even open it up and read it verbatim. Nah, it's too detailed, right? There was a gentleman, or appeared to be a gentleman. I believe it is a man, right? And he had a name that was a little different, right? And he reached out to me and he said, "Hey, how are you? How's life? Man, get out of here, fly." And I just hit him too. Yep. Just killed him. Boy, I'm good. Bounced off the ropes and timed it perfect. Look at him there. I hit him with my finger, so I hope there's no guts on my finger, God. So he asked me, he says, "How are you, bro?" I'm like, "I'm okay." Now, granted, I'm always approachable on social media on different platforms because at this point, I know my name is kind of out there. And sometimes there are people who follow you, who reach out to you, but you never talked to them before. You don't know their name. So I'm cordial until you come with something crazy, right? So I'm assuming this guy knows me for the stuff that we do here online. So I'm like, life is treating me good. How are you? "Oh, I'm good, bro." He says, "Can I ask you a question?" And I said, "Sure." I thought he was going to ask me about a show or a show topic. So I said, "Well, I'm getting a lot of text messages now. Hold on, let me turn this phone down. Oh, that fly is not done yet? Oh no, you're going to get the death blow. Oh no, you don't come around here like that on my show, in the middle of my show, all day long. Outside, no flies bothering me, nothing." Now, as soon as here he comes, because it's dark in here, and I guess the computer light, attracted him. So anyway, yeah, I got to cut this phone off. I got to cut this phone off. Hold on a second, y'all. This is just singing and trying to distract me. So we'll take care of that. All right. Now, I just have to say, if the power cuts and you don't hear me, you wouldn't know if the power cut or not. But every now and then, little glitches happen. Just hold tight. You'll hear some silence. I'll get back on the phone or on my laptop where I don't need to have it plugged in. But I'm on my desktop. So let's get on with it. I told him I'm doing all right. Life is good. Waiting to hear what he's going to say or ask or whatever. So he asked me, he says, "Listen, if I gave you $5,000, what would you do with it? How would you use it? Would you use it for vacation? Would you use it for fun? Would you use it for business? Would you use it for a house project? Would you use it to give away to somebody or bless other people? What would you use it for?" Okay. I just answered the question. I said, "Well, business," meaning that there are things in my personal life that I'm doing, still doing a little construction. That's not too much information. You all know the deal. And it would be things that I would use to improve the platform on a technological level, like certain specific pieces of equipment, not super expensive, but certain things that would help to bump up the platform. And of course, I have programs and things that I have to pay for. And that's why your donations are appreciated when they do come through. But I know everybody can't do that right now. So like, share, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. So he said, "Good answer." He says, "What's your Cashapp?" And now I'm sitting here like, whoa, is this one of these guys that kind of like have money like that and just give it away to people that they like? There are people like that now. I've experienced that. They trust and believe. They lurked in the shadows. You don't know them. So me experiencing that before, not a lot, I'm like, okay, this might be one of them times, and I can kind of need it right. I kind of need it right now, right? So I'm sitting here not getting too enthusiastic because I'm thinking scam, scam, scam. Okay, so I looked at his name and I Googled his name, and it appears to be that he's an actor, right? And he's on some VH1 show, and I don't want to put that name out there because you understand why. So there was an air of legitimacy to this person, the photo and everything. And I checked the was it IMDb? I am something where all actors have this page, and it certifies who they are and what they've done, their credentials. I checked that. I checked some other things, and I was like, whoa, because very seldom do you see somebody who is like super legit. Me, and they reach out to me. I've had it, I'll tell those other stories later on. So now, okay, this guy's legit, and he wants to give me $5,000. I mean, well, wouldn't that make you happy? I mean, we don't worship money like that where it becomes our God, but we're still in the system. I'm still in the system. I'm away from that system, but I'm still in the system of having to use money in American dollars that get converted to CDs over here. So money would definitely help. I'm not off the grid yet. I got a little bit of my body out, but a part of my body is still in the room and the door is slamming on me. So I'm trying to struggle to get out, Okay, good. Let me just acknowledge. Had not. Yes. Riri, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So make a long story long. You don't have to tell my long stories and draw it out, keep you on the edge. So he says, well, listen, and it took a little longer because we did more back and forth stuff, and I was cool. And after I said to him, let me just backtrack a little bit. After I said to him that I would use it for business, I wanted to show that I was legit. I didn't know whether he knew I was legit or not, right? So I said www.landscurv.com. In other words, go check out my website. And he was like, oh man, very impressive, because I don't want people thinking that I'm some fly by night type of person too. So all these years of work that I put out there, not to brag or anything, here, check me out. I want you to see that I'm a student of the game, that I'm committed to this thing. And usually when you check me out, it's only but a couple of hours ago that I did a show or an article or an upload. So he was like, oh, okay, So he says, what's your Cash App? Now I'm sitting here doing male Kegels. I don't have a thing like a woman, but back there I was like flexing, like, oh my God, this guy's gonna send me $5,000. What a way to wake up. I felt like I was gonna start breaking out like Bill Withers. A lovely day. I could hold it longer if I took a deeper breath. So I'm like, okay, oh shoot, who's going to give me money? So I gave it to him, and he said, I need your email address. And I'm thinking like, okay, why you need my email address? He says, so I can notify you of when it comes, because something with some company, whatever, we have to take it. I gave him one where it's not as sensitive, just in case something was, he scammed that too somehow, some way. You never know. So all of a sudden, I get an email. $5,000. $5,000 in my Cash App. So wait a second. It wouldn't be a lie if it's there. And so now let me go into my email. Let me go into Devil is a liar. A glitch. I told you. It's like every night around this time, the lights blink off and on. Now, I should be back on where you can hear me, okay? And just let me know. Um, that's what happens every now and then. But for some reason, around this time of night, this is what happens. Now, the sound might sound a little different. Just let me know. Okay, yes, I'm back, Jack Griffin. I said I'll come right on back on the phone. The sound may sound a little more flat, using my equipment before, so everything sounds nice and, professional and everything. So going through my phone, it may not sound, but this is not going to cut off. Okay, that's what's going to happen. So let me just sit on that. I can walk around and, enjoy myself. But like I was saying, to make a long story long, I saw the email that came through Cash App the same way like when I received Cash App's $5,000. But here's a catch. Here's a big catch. There was a clearance fee. A clearance fee? I never saw a clearance fee before. Come to find out that I guess and I assumed that when you get a sum of money that large, it didn't seem right to me. Why do I have to pay to receive money when that's money? So I'm like, this is a scam. Now I'm not excited anymore. I want to see what's going on. And he was like, well, you got to pay. And this is on, now we went from TikTok to Telegram. He said he was more, I don't really bless people unless it's like on Telegram. I don't want to do any communication on TikTok. There's a reason for that. And now I got to find out. So here it is. Let me just make sure this cuts off. This stays off because there's something I want to read to you afterward. But now this guy is being a little more persistent. And I told him, I said, listen, I can't receive, and I'm not telling no, they go to lights again. They coming back on and I don't trust it. By a show of hands, you know what? I was going to say, should I get back on? I want the sound to sound better. I'm going to come back on my stuff, but I'm also going to keep the phone in this, the phone connection still on just in case it happens again, but it shouldn't happen again. But it always seems that, what time is this now? After 9 for me, right? So I'm going to take a second. I'm going to keep telling the story. When everything's fully on, then I'll just jump over. So anyway, he was, now he's pushy. He's getting crackheadish. I'm sorry to say it that way. Hey man, so just pay the fee. I'm like, listen, I can't receive Cash Apps. I'm not telling too much information because this is public information. I can't receive Cash Apps in Africa. The only place it works is the United States and the UK, and I believe it might also be in Canada. So I can cut this one off. Let me cut, now see, this computer has that fan problem making that noise. I'm gonna cut that off. I'm gonna go right on back. I thought about saying something adult. It's like the married man who has real problems with his wife and he leaves and goes to the side chick. He can't stand her and realizes she's terrible too, and he runs back to the wife. I knew a guy like that one time, and he went back and forth like 3 times. I got to talk about that, but I'm not going to, this is years ago. I'm not going to put his business out there, but let me get back to the original and use my microphone. I hate that. I like my sound to sound good. This has to sound kind of flat, but until I get there, I'm going to continue telling the story. So I said, well, listen, I have someone who handles that for me in the States, right? Known him for years, trustworthy, everything, all of that stuff like that. But okay, let me restore these pages. This is just a pain in the behind. So he's like, okay. So 10 minutes later, did you do it? Did you do it? I'm like, this is pretty early in the morning over there. I said, it's morning over here for me, but I'm not gonna push and bug them when, eventually they'll see it. Even I'm not pushing for it, but I didn't want to push for it now because now I know it was not legit in my mind. It was not legit. So, okay, here I go. Let me mute this side. Okay, let me turn this down. Okay, now I'm getting Why am I getting sound from the phone now when I have it muted? Okay, let me just get off of this thing. No, I don't want to end the stream. Oh my God. Okay. Let me remove this. I think I'm on the right one. Sorry about this, y'all. Okay, you know what? I need to just cut this phone off. Everything here electronic wants attention. I'm trying to get into a flow. All right, there it is. All right. Okay, the one module is just going to die out. Okay, let me know if you can hear me. The sound is back now. It's loud and clear like it was before. Thank you so much. Now, hopefully no glitches. Every time this happens, boom, boom, it knocks me off. In the future, just hold tight. I'll be back. I always have my phone. Usually I have my phone connected and ready to just push a button and be back on, and it's seamless. But I was charging it up and everything. So now, hopefully we won't have any interruptions. Now, I'm waiting now. I'm in a power position. Why is he persistent if the mentality is if he's a good guy and just wants to give me money, he has money and he's not stressing it? Why are you stressing it? If I say in a couple hours, she'll be up and she'll be able to assist in the whole thing and pay the clearance fee that Cashapp wants. Right? Let me get on the computer and I want to read it verbatim. When I went to Cashapp to ask, okay, I'm gonna show you the search too. Does Cashapp have a clearance fee? And that's when I knew something was up even more so. Okay, here we go. Okay, here it is. Just a quick answer. No, Cashapp does not ask for a clearance fee. It is important to be cautious of any requests for payment or personal information that you receive through Cashapp, as scammers may attempt to trick you into sending money or providing sensitive information by posing as a legitimate user or company. And in this case, it was a semi-celebrity, right? With a name that probably none of us would know because he had some, I hate to rate actors or whatever, but this is a guy that was on a show on VH1 and didn't have a lead role. It was some kind of, not a reality show, but it was some kind of, I wouldn't say movie, it was a series, and he just had he had his foot in the door, right? But when people check up on, it's more believable. If it was Denzel Washington who hit me up on TikTok and said he had money, I'm like, get out of here. I'd still check it out though, right? And here it is also on a continuation. It says, it is always a good idea to verify the authenticity of any payment or request that you receive through Cashapp before taking any action. You can do this by verifying the identity of the sender, double checking the details of the request or payment, and reaching out to the official Cashapp support team. But there's a problem here if you have any more questions. Remember, it is important to protect your personal information and financial accounts and to be cautious of any requests for payment or information that seems suspicious or too good to be true. That's common sense. But you wouldn't believe the amount of people who don't even understand that, because remember, the transfer of funds and the technology and the apps and the phone, there are a lot of people who are not comfortable with it, and a lot of people who would not look into the details. And once I saw that clearance request, why do I have to give you, Cashapp takes out a small percentage for the transaction. Of course, that's how they make their money. That's how PayPal makes their money. That's how Venmo makes their money. The only transfer system is with ZELLE. ZELLE or ZELLE, whatever. Some people say ZELLE, some people say ZELLE, right? ZELLE. They don't take anything out. So when you have large sums, you wanted to do a transfer bank to bank with no fees taken out, you got to use ZELLE. But you got to have a bank account that's on their list to be able to do the transaction, right? So let me go back to the screen here, right? Did I get knocked off again? Oh, no. Okay, I saw what happened. Whew. I thought the computer glitched me out. So yeah, that's what it is. So after looking at that, I said, let me just lay back and not respond as fast. This guy, it was almost like the movie where the kids were saying, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Is she awake? You want to give her a call? I'm like, I wish I had a lot of people who really wanted to give me money with such a sense of urgency. And what I told him earlier, that if you did give me, if this was a real person, he did give me, whether it's a penny or $1 million, I'm very, very frugal. I would use every penny for the betterment of this platform, my life, which would make me better to serve. I take this very serious. I take a lot of time with this. And that would have helped, you know, but I'm okay. So he was annoying me after a while, because it was obvious that, why are you so concerned about this $50 going through so you can give me $5,000? If you were so concerned, you pay it. I wouldn't say that to somebody who's legitimately giving me anything, because I even thanked them even before I knew. But I did that anyway. I played the game, you know? And so one of my trick questions was, I said, well, listen, now by this time I already knew it was a super scam. Super scam. If you remember from the 70s what song that was, put it in the chat room. Anyway, like I said, there's no way I can repay you. Like, I'm stroking his ego now. He thinks he has me. I said, there's no way I could repay you. I said, well, maybe we can do a podcast on the show that you do, whatever. No answer. No answer. But I already knew it was a scam. So after a while, he kept bugging me. I just blocked him. I know that's what it was. Clearance fee. So scams, they operate on the same principles, right? They operate on the same principles. So with this guy, it could be a whole team of them, right? If we hit 20 people a day with this, we'll have $1,000. Imagine how many people would fall for that. And so what I want to say, right? Let's clear the air right now. And I'm going to have to say this for the next few shows. Since he sees that I have a sizable amount of respect online with what I do, if anybody tries to pretend that they're LANCESCURV and say they want to give you money or try to catch you up in something, it's a scam, because I would not do that to anybody. I mean, if I had money, Trump money, big money, and if I saw somebody needed it, I would even have somebody else give it so my name's out of it, so I'm not trying to get props. And it wouldn't be, oh, here's $1 million, whatever. No, but if I find out that, you know, that's the kind of person I am. But I'm going to have to find out myself and say, okay, this person's going through a hard time. So this person just lost the breadwinner in their family. Let me give them $300,000. Like, if I had billionaire money, that would be my way of tithing. But not that I don't have that heart. Listen, brother man don't have that kind of money. So I would not scam you. There's another guy who does a financial YouTube channel. I think his name is Richard Fain. I think so. The name is a little iffy with me to remember, but I know it's Richard something. And he talks about these things. And he had a situation where people were using his name to solicit for investments, financial investments. And people were giving money because they trusted him. This is a guy, you know, he showed every aspect of his life. He showed this, he showed that, and he's been at it for years. He doesn't need to scam anybody. He gives you general advice so you can know how to navigate the financial waters yourself. But he's not coming at you that way. And if I could give you money, I would, but I would not try to send you something and ask you to pay $50. That's a straight scam. No. So anybody come and use my name and you're not sure, call me. My number's out there. Call me. Just say, Lance, I'm going to call you. We're going to talk this over the phone. Can I call you now? I wouldn't do that. There's so many people out here who are just not. Yeah, Jack Griffin, you know. I knew you knew, and I knew you were going to answer too, right? But This could have been disastrous. And I'm going to tell you another one that happened to me. This was 2024, 2023. It was sometime in 2022. And I was actually about to do a rooftop perspective when we were in that apartment, right? So there was somebody who requested payment. It was 400 something. No, it was 700 something. These are 4 or 7. I think it was more towards 7. $700 requested payment. And when you look at the Cash App, oh, no, this was PayPal, because I can do PayPal from out here. I can't do Cash App, sorry. But the PayPal, it looks very similar when somebody requests a payment for you to pay, like an invoice, but it doesn't look like an invoice. It looks just like when you get money in PayPal. And if you hit that button, you're sending them money directly out of your bank account, because 9 times out of 10, you have your personal bank account, business or personal, connected to your PayPal. So it's a seamless transition. Like when you receive money, and many people here already know it. I'm just going to say it for those who don't, because not everybody knows. If, for example, your personal bank account, business or personal, is connected to PayPal, right? And you're using your PayPal card or your account to pay for something, and say you have $50 in it, but you spend 75. Well, it's going to clean it out. It's also going to take 25 out of your personal bank account. It's going to cover what you need in PayPal. Okay. Then you have PayPal credit, which is a whole different story, but it looks very similar. And so you have to be very careful and look at everything as it comes to you. Now, this has nothing to do with it, but when you're sending money between people, you use the friends and family. Like, say, for example, Jack Griffin, we go back many decades. And if I'm sending him money, he's sending me money, don't send it as a stranger, just as a straight up transaction. Put me in the friends and family category and no money is taken out. So that's a good thing to know. PayPal is a good thing because they ensure transactions and they cover you. Cash App, on the real, you don't know what you're dealing with. This is like going to your tires are bald and you go to a reputable place where they sell tires, but they're closed. But there's some dude who has a big yard full of car parts. Man, I got tires for you. You know what I mean? And they look good. And if they blow out or mess, you're not getting the warranty. You're not covered. Because how do you really contact Cash App? There is no phone number. It's not like there are people waiting around like on a telephone. Just give us a call to our offices. We're here 24/7. It's not like that, you know? And yeah, Queen J. You have a lot of weird. There was we're hanging out now, and I still have something to read off to make sure more information is going out. There was a woman from Maryland. I think it was $1 and so many cents that she was sending me several times a day. $1.03 or something like that. I can't recall. On Cash App when I was in the States. And I was scared to receive it. I'm like, what kind of, money transfer hoodoo are you doing to me? You know what I mean? But her name was unique. And I Googled the name. There's no other name like that. Ended up being an Asian lady who lived in Maryland who was involved in real estate. I won't say a name. I kind of forgot it. I can go in my records and find it. But for a period of maybe 6 months, and not every day, it was always when I did a show. And sometimes I miss days, but most days I do shows. So that was strange. And then it just stopped. I Googled her. I searched her. Searching is an art. Because if you don't know how to search on certain details, social media will give you a lot of leeway. But some people just search and they quit. There's different ways of doing it. To search for different things. You omit certain things, you add certain things in, whatever. And I saw her house. Now, I wasn't stalking her. I just wanted to know who the heck was this. Now, there was another woman who she sent me $75. And this was a couple months ago. in 2023. And I was trying to find a way to thank her. You know, she donated $75. And I try to thank everybody. So there was no way to do it. There's usually a email address or something on PayPal that you can, but she had none of that. So I Googled her name. Her name was a strange name. Come to find out, she lived in the Bronx, New York. So I was going to search a little more. I got down in the search, like I know, because I have good company around me in my inner circle. If I need to ask them anything, right? I'd never. But anyway, I found out several phone numbers. So I went down because I want to thank the lady. You know, a lot of people listen and I don't know them. And they just, like a good Samaritan, they'll just to be nice, they say, hey, I want to bless you with this. So I don't care if it's $1 or $1 million. I want to thank you, you know. So the numbers didn't work. And she just had a peculiar look to her. I have to say that. She just looked a little different, you know? And all of a sudden, 2 months later, it was toward the end, I think it was December, spilling over into January this month, she was complaining that she never received the goods that she ordered. She didn't give me $75. She thought she was ordering something. And she was taking me to PayPal court to go through their procedure to extract the money and get it back. And they asked me about this thing. And I said, no, you know, I didn't have anything to sell to her. She can have the money back. That was strange. The one with that request and then her giving me the money and that other lady give me $1.03 several times a day sometime, all of that was strange. It's just strange. You just never know who you're dealing with. And what happened this morning with this guy, you know? And maybe I'll offer some screenshots up on LANCESCURV.com. I do the extra stuff there after a show or whatever, so you can see it for yourself, right? So that being said, Sweetberry, how are you? Sweetberry32. Now, I don't know if there's anybody that I missed. Oh, I know Peaceful Pulleys here. Gamer G. Yeah, Gamer G, Cashapp. Yeah, Gamer G, it's I don't know. And a lot of people have had issues with Cashapp and never had the issues resolved. And I had somebody trying to say that they were from Cashapp that wanted my license, wanted my social security. Nah. This ain't right. Be careful. Be careful. And as we all know, the government can get a hold of certain sensitive information that they probably already have but they want to, this facial recognition thing is bugging me out. Because Patreon is doing that now, right? They're saying that I'm an adult content creator. I mean, I may cut a few words every now and then, or some of the people that come on. And Patreon for me right now is only is a means of donating. It's not like, oh, he's going to put up content unique every single day. And I let people know that because they say, oh, you didn't put nothing up. And I will start putting the regular stuff there because there's a lot of people on the free side that may not want to come to YouTube for whatever reason, right? That's strange in itself. So they've requested that I take a photo and show my passport. And this was legit. This is legit because I checked it out, contacted them, and they said that. But what's up with that? I mean, are people doing wayward things on Patreon? I don't understand. Are they ripping people off on Patreon? I don't know. But I ain't do it though. I'm not doing it. You know. Yeah, exactly, Queen J. Let me put that up on the screen. This is what Queen J said. I usually use Cashapp for people I know, but for business, I only use ZELLE and PayPal. Good move. Cashapp is the cash of the digital currency. You know what I mean? It's like cash, even though it's still digital. But, you know, if you open your hand when you're holding the cash long enough, the wind can make it blow away. That's not going to happen with PayPal. That's not going to happen with ZELLE, right? So I jotted down a few notes in my research. I want to just read off a couple paragraphs on different things on how, for people who are watching this show who may not know. We all have, I mean, I don't have my grandmothers around, but we all have grandmothers and aunts and even mothers that are getting up there and, years and don't understand or can't grasp the concept of these transactions and how you can get scammed. So even still out here in Ghana, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna blow them up. People talk about Nigeria, and the scams. You got scams out here in Ghana now. Don't get me wrong, and they are good. And we think that sometimes, oh, they can't get me. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. They have makeshift, I'll call them this, right? Because it's in the areas where I walk through, because I just don't walk through the affluent, nice areas. I'm going through where the common man goes. Y'all know that. You've seen some of my footage, and I have a crap load of footage on my little action camera right now that I want to put up. It's non-directional. It's not a story behind it. I just have the camera in my hand and just walk with it just so you can see. So there are all these unrelated clips. So, bear in mind when you see this stuff, it's just stuff I see. And if you want to see the real deal, because I go all over the place. This stuff is so real, right? I ran into a lady. And I had the camera. She didn't really know because it's a tiny, tiny camera that I had in my hand. I was walking with it and she called to me. She's down at the market. And we always joke. We got this crazy joke. She speaks broken English. I speak English. She understands me. I understand her. And I don't know how we got to joking about farts. I don't know. So every time she sees me, she makes a noise and she waves a hand by her butt or something like that. I told her, I said, I got to hurry up and get home. She says, oh, you got to take a taxi. I said, no. I went, I was like I was going to fly away. And we always joke like that. So she called me to let me know, listen, I'm moving from here and I'm moving to Kumasi. That's the second largest city in Ghana, right? That's in the middle part, right? It's just it's not as intense, maybe in certain areas, but it's a lot of younger folks like it up there more. So Accra's more it's more strict. It's more business. This is the capital. So I'm sitting there with the camera in my hand, tiny. I wasn't trying to put it in her face. I just turned to her. I mean, I knew I had it in my hand, but I almost forgot that I had it. Why did she pull a titty out and start breastfeeding her kid? I was so awkward. I'm like, oh my God, you know what I mean? But out here, it's a different culture, right? So, the titty has been sexualized in UK, United States, the Western world. It's nothing out here. So I felt like a creep. I'm sitting here, it's videotaping, I know there's some dudes out there. Oh, put that up, Lance. I want to see it. Nah, I might take that part out. Maybe I'll let it stay in, but just know when she did that. Okay. But, walking through the common areas where, and I don't mean to say common like it's lowly, because you have tourist areas no matter where you go, and then you have where the common man lives and eats and shops. So these are the markets where a lot of the people, they're not rich. I'll just say it that way. And if you know what I mean, they're not rich. A lot of them are day to day and struggling. The economy's bad and everything. So you have these I call them makeshift because it's not some professional looking thing. Internet cafes. Let me take a sip of this tea, y'all. I can't believe how that big horsefly just found himself and he lost his life. So, anyway, they got these makeshift internet cafes and it's like, you're going to have not 50 guys in there, but a bit too much. And they're so interested in the computers and being on the internet. And then you realize they're doing the romance scams and they're talking to different people. They're doing all kinds of scams. You have to pay for so much internet access and they're working it. And so one day soon, there's one that I want to go into and just buy time and record the conversation. And I have someone who will translate it for me. And we're going to find out. Now, I'm like one of those news guys that go undercover. This one is safe. I'll go undercover in there and have it recorded on my phone and see what's going on. I got to be nosy. But I know that's what it is. Because some of these guys come out there and they're smart Alex. And they laugh and high-fiving and whatnot. Getting these white women from the UK and ganking them for their money and promising love. And for the ladies here, again, just be careful. Just be careful. Not every Ghanaian man is a scam guy, but there's a whole lot of them. And I will say 9 times out of 10, well, 6 times out of 10, 7 times out of 10, I can't really say, but they're looking for advantage. And there are a lot of sisters that come out here and they're not going to broadcast it, but they're looking for a man. And these guys, they will sweet talk you. I mean, they have said some things I've never heard of before. And the accent, and then you hear the motherland, you're somewhere different. Like, wow. There are a lot of single black women who live up in Cape Coast. For some reason, that's just the way it is. I've observed that. That's no study or anything that I'm saying. You know, I'm going to tell you what I see. And a lot of them up there, they're looking for a man. And a lot of the men down here, they know that. But from what I'm hearing, and I'll get back on the topic, you know, Cape Coast has the slave dungeons, which some people say castles. And then you have the Elmina Castle up there, aka dungeon, the two up there that everybody goes through when you see it on the documentaries and on TV. I've been to both of them several times. You got the Osu Castle down here. And I have a connection in there. I can go in anytime I want. And I'm going to go back in there. There's a part of it, I know I'm way off topic. There's a part of it that in that whole wing, there is ventilation, a hole, a rectangular hole about twice the size. Like if you put two cell phones next to each other, flat next to each other, maybe like 10 inches or 12 inches by 3 inches. And that's in the hallway part. There's a part where they had a doorway that's like about 4 feet tall. This is in the Osu Castle. And it's a mental thing with me. I have to go back there, right? But here's the scary part. You have to crawl through this short doorway, and there is nothing of ventilation in there, just dirt and concrete. And I went 5 feet in. I was going to take some video shooting out and walking out of this thing. You have to crawl. It's not a room. It's probably 4.5 feet tall, not 5 feet, but maybe 4 feet, 4.5 maybe. But you have to crawl on all fours. And it goes 50 feet deep. How are you going to breathe in that thing? And I flashed my camera light. I said, man. And I wanted to go to the end and touch the wall just to experience that, just to know what they felt. I punked out. I was pouring with sweat. I sweat anyway, profusely. I sweat. I drink a lot and I sweat a lot. That's healthy. But it bugged me that if my ancestors could be back there and breathing, and we're talking about farting. Man, could you imagine the sweat and the smell back there? Because walking through the castles anyway, you're smelling feces from people who have been off this earth for hundreds of years. Because they were laying in it and it's caked up and dried and you see it and it's just hundreds of years of that. Women, you know, every month, there are no provisions for you. You had to deal with that like that. They toss the food and you get it when you can. People laying up on you dying. Let me get back on topic, but yeah, that means something to me. I have to go, and I'm going in there with my camera. You're going to see it. My light, my camera, we're going to go back to the back of that thing. If I have to zone out, because I like a challenge. I'm going to have to grunt, just go back there and touch the wall and come back out of there. I got to. But anyway, for those who are unaware of these scams and whatnot, let me read off a couple things I jotted down. Scammers who target users of cash transfer services like Cashapp, PayPal, and Zelle typically employ a variety of tactics to deceive gullible individuals. Here's a detailed explanation of their modus operandi. Number 1, phishing scams. Phishing is a common tactic where scammers impersonate legitimate institutions or individuals to trick users into providing their sensitive information. In the context of cash transfer services, scammers may send fake emails or messages resembling those from the service provider, asking users to log into their accounts through a fraudulent link. Once users input their credentials, the scammers gain access to their accounts and can initiate unauthorized transactions. That reminds me of another one I have to tell you. 2, fake buyer-seller scams. In online marketplaces or platforms where users buy and sell goods or services, scammers pose as legitimate buyers or sellers to deceive their targets. They may offer to buy an item and send a fake payment confirmation email, claiming that the funds have been transferred via the cash transfer service, like me this morning. Conversely, they may list items for sale and request payment through these services, but never deliver the promised goods. Number 3, overpayment scams. Scammers exploiting cash transfer services may overpay for goods or services and then request the excess amount to be refunded via the same service. They typically use fraudulent or stolen payment methods to make the initial overpayment. Once the victim refunds the excess amount, the original payment is found to be fraudulent, leaving the victim out of the pocket. Impersonation scams. Number 4. In this type of scam, the perpetrator impersonates a friend, family member, or acquaintance of the victim and requests money urgently. They may claim to be in a dire situation and in need of financial assistance. Since the message appears to come from someone the victim knows, they are more likely to comply with the request without verifying the sender's identity. Number 5, lottery sweepstakes scams. Scammers may inform their targets that they have won a lottery or sweepstakes prize and instruct them to pay a processing fee or taxes up front to claim their winnings. They often use cash transfer services to receive these payments, promising larger returns that never materialize. Number 6, investment scams. Some scammers pose as financial advisors or investment brokers, promising high returns on investments made through cash transfer services. They may use persuasive tactics and false promises to convince victims to transfer funds, which are then stolen or used for fraudulent purposes. Number 7, loan scams. Scammers offering fake loans or financial assistance may target individuals in need of quick cash. They request upfront fees or personal information, claiming it's necessary to process the loan application. Once the victim provides the requested information or payments, the scammer disappears without providing any loan. These scammers often exploit the anonymity and convenience provided by cash transfer services to carry out their fraudulent activities. To avoid falling victim to such scams, users should exercise caution, verify the identity of the parties involved, avoid sharing sensitive information or making payments to unknown individuals, and report any suspicious activities to the respective service providers. Now, we all kind of know that, but there might be somebody who may have missed one of those, and that's all they need, a small crack in the armor to get through to get you of your money. Now, here's another one I forgot about. I completely forgot about it, and I made a video on this about Wells Fargo. And some higher up in Wells Fargo contacted me about the video that I made. And it wasn't a complaint on them. It was just fact. Now, let me get this right. I want to get the details right. This was something, and this is why you have to be careful with your cell phones and keeping the lock on it. You all know I used to drive the bus in Orlando, Florida with Lynx, the company. And you're going in, you do a run. It may take 3 hours round trip with a little break of 2 hours or whatever. So every time you come downtown, of course, you get off the bus and, if you got to go to the bathroom, you go. Even when you don't have to go to the bathroom, it's like you better try to get something out of you because you might get 30 minutes down the road and your body decide to go. So that's what we do. At least that's what I do. So I'm walking through the crowds. They're tapping you on the shoulder, asking you about bus routes you don't even know about. Bus driver, do you know how long a bus driver bus? So you got to fight through the people and be polite, because I'm good at answering questions on the go. And there are times you have to run through there like O.J. Simpson running through the airport back in that 1970s commercial, right? So I'm walking through, thinking nothing of it, right? But I didn't have a PIN code on my phone. My phone was wide open. And I get on the bus. Yeah, I cut my phone off. But it already happened. You're going to say, well, what happened, Lance? Well, here it is. And this had to be back in 2016 or 17, around in there, a couple of years ago. Boy, how time flies. So anyway, I get down to the end of the route. I was doing the 21 route, which I'm known for doing. I always did that route in the many years that I drove for the bus company. People would see me in the street on my days off. I didn't have the bus driver outfit on. Hey, 21. I knew exactly what that is. You know, now if somebody calls me that out in Africa, I got to find out who they are. So I get to the end and I put my phone on, and all of a sudden, you know how when you put your phone on and you go to your email, and if it's backed up, but you got, and I get a lot of emails, y'all, from doing this stuff here. I get hundreds and hundreds of emails, you know. So bring. I get all these messages. And so I look at the messages on one particular Gmail account, because I have several. And it was my bank telling me that the transfer is going through. And you see every request like in order. Like if I was to request to send somebody money. So somebody was posing as me sending money to this unknown person. All I remember is that the person's name had 3 letters. I couldn't believe it. And I couldn't get through on my phone. It was like the whole phone, everything was hijacked from where it was. I can't explain it. There's one person I know that I can ask, and I will. But what happened was, to the best of my ability to explain it, they had these type of things that when they get close to you, they can get access to your phone if it wasn't protected with a PIN code. And you have your apps there sitting there, and lots of times you hit your banking app, it opens up. Well, they got access to my phone. I didn't take off fast enough. And they had access to everything. My email, this, that, whatever. But it was the Wells Fargo app that, okay, and it wasn't just that they had access to it. I was lazy and didn't want to punch it in every time, my username and my passcode. So they hit pay dirt because I didn't block it. So when they got into my phone, it's like, oh man. So could you imagine how many people that were walking by that they tried, that protected themselves, and some who didn't protect themselves? You see what I mean? So I learned a lesson that day. So I had called Mrs. SCURV. She was at work. And I said, listen, they're scamming the bank account. I can't get through via email. I can't get through. I had to actually use one of the phones there at the hospital to get through because my phone was like hijacked. But I was lucky that when I put it on, it grabbed enough of the emails to show me what was going on. I can't really explain it any better than that. So she got on it. She called Wells Fargo, told them what happened, and we saved the money and blocked everything. And that person, whoever it was, said, God dog. You know, when you see track stars, right? And they're neck and neck, or they're far apart at first. And they're doing a certain run a couple of times on the track, and they come up to the finish line, and one guy comes bearing down on the first place guy who thought he won. And he gets there to the line, and they have a camera that's next to the finish line to see who really crossed the line first. And they're both of their bodies are neck and neck, and this guy leans his head in, and his head goes over the finish line first. That was me in the nick of time. Unbelievable. But it wasn't over. They stopped it, but I had information, and I had to talk to the fraud department, or whatever you'd want to call it. I was up all night. I had to call out of work the next day. I was up all night. And you know, you're driving the bus 11 hours a day. You can't be messed up and dozing off and tired when you have so many people's lives in your hand. when you're driving a 40-foot bus. The sun is all out, all in your face, and you're feeling all tired with that. You stop at these long red lights and sitting in traffic. You know, and this particular day, I had to do the 8 route the next day, and that's going down International Drive. You know, in Orlando, if you've ever been down there, that's like one of the tourist sectors, aside from downtown Disney. So I was like, And I never really called out of work. When I did, the supervisors didn't even question me. Like, Lance comes to work. And I would tell him. And sometimes I'd tell him honestly, like, listen, I was up all night. And with me, I get hyped. And sometimes I can't sleep. So hence me doing late night shows and being up all night. And they believe me. Yeah, Lance, I was listening to the show and I said, this guy's going to call in. So here, I expected it. No problem. But yeah, there's a lot of things out here that we're open to, more so now because of the technology that we believe is making things more convenient, but it's making things more convenient for people who are scammers too, because they're thinking of all types of stuff, you see. And then you get the people who do the romance scams, and they talk to lonely ladies from other countries, and they might be a little older. It's not always like that, but you get one of these older white women who, you know, they were done bad by some white man they were married to, and they see this young muscular guy, and, you know, he's from another country and he's in Africa, and that's big in Gambia, y'all. That's big in Gambia. These guys, what do they call them? Holiday makers. That's what they call them. You have to Google that. These are interesting things. And I see it out here too. I see it out here too. And a lot of these guys, they're not in love with these women. They want what they can provide. They'll even go with them. Some big, you remember the grimace off of McDonald's lamp? The grimace with the big, built like that, wrinkled. I mean, they got more wrinkles in their face than a homeless woman's vagina. God, Lord. And they kissing them down, tonguing them down. Young guys out here, I see. I got my camera every time I go out, right in my hand. I'm going to catch it. I'm going to show it to you. It's crazy. And these guys, they just want to get out of Ghana, get out of certain, because in their mind, there's nothing here. And they want to go to the UK. They want to go to the US. And for those sisters who come here and end up buying a house or building a house in Cape Coast, I don't know what it is about that place, right? But I know a lot of single black women out there who, you know, they were looking for somebody, and they were purposely looking for somebody. But why is it that so many end up over there? You know, and that's a whole different thing. It's a whole different topic. You know, I'm free flowing right now. Let me just see if anybody wants to come in real quick before I sign off. But I'm still going to talk a little bit more. Of course, when I get up in the morning, we're going to smash the show. We'll do 2 tomorrow. Have to. Sunday, right? Yeah. Charles Wilson, welcome on in. Sorry if I didn't acknowledge you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Flash mail. Craigslist is like, it's infested. Infested. Leonard Diuda, welcome on in. I didn't see you. I was running my mouth. Patrina Gilbert. Yes, welcome, welcome. Just kind of scrolling up. I'll put the link there if anybody wants to say anything. If not, it's okay, you know. And I remember Dr. Tracy Bond, yes. Ain't that something? The grimace. Ain't that something? You brought him up and I brought him up. We're all connected in a very special way. Trust me. We're all connected in a very special way. But yeah, it's there's so many scams and capitalize. And see, let me tell you something. See, I got a little holy right now, a little more so when Tracy Bond came in, Dr. Tracy Bond. We're going to talk about discernment, right? People think that they say the gift of discernment is just something that holy people, righteous people have. Demons depend on discernment to rip you off. They can evaluate you, size you up instantly to know the cracks in your armor. Whether you're a man with a big ego and this young, shapely, pretty woman who's 1/3 your age snuggles up next to you and you feel proud that you are older dude with this young girl and she acts like you're the knight in shining armor, but she's trying to get to your money and really trying to get to your money, not for a night, but she's going to get next to you and gas you up and get to that money. Now, I'm going to have to repeat this other scam that I know out here too. Or you might be that woman who, you know, didn't get good treatment from different men. It happens. And so you see this younger guy that He may not be that much younger, but he might be a little younger and a little submissive, but he's a take charge guy behind closed doors, if you know what I mean. So he rocks your world and your mind is blown and you're in a different country and you're like, they wouldn't approve of this in America or the UK. But you know what? He my man. He gonna come on. I'm gonna have him live with me. But then he's looking for 7 or 8 other women just like you. Yeah. Dudes have approached me for women. Why would they approach me for women? I'm not a pimp. Hey, brother, I know you know a lot of American women just based on that alone. Like, I'm gonna lead these sisters astray so you could use them. I was at a bodybuilding competition out here. And I was videotaping, right? And one of the bodybuilders, you know, had a very impressive body. He says, "Oh, my brother, I need to find an American woman. You got to get me with an American woman. She will love this body." I'm like, yeah, she would love the body. Will she fall weak for that though? Like some women will do that, men and women. They start romanticizing of the relationship that they always wanted, but could never get. And so, and it's not just here. It's all over the world, but I'm seeing it from this side. See, I heard about it from the other side, America, but I'm here seeing it in progress. So that's a funny thing. And you see a lot of, nothing wrong with the real thing now. Don't get me wrong. I have nothing against one of our sisters or brothers getting with one of our sisters and brothers from America, even sometimes when the one from America, male or female, may have the financial advantage. If it is real. If it is real. But a lot of times, and I have to say, I do know of 1 or 2, but 1 for sure, that is really, really, really real. They're dedicated to each other, ride or die, and they're both doing extremely well. I mean, extremely well. $250,000 type well. You know what I mean? Every year type and more, you know, and nobody's scamming anybody. Les, welcome on in. How are you doing? Yes, I'm glad you're here. Yeah, so for those who are in now, if you go back to listen, if you just come in and you go back to listen, we had a little glitch where the power went out. It's like about 3 minutes, there was nothing going on. I went on the phone and the power came back on because it always comes back on real quick, you know. Yeah, Crypto Movado 242. I'm gonna put this on the screen. Movado 242 said that if you're dealing crypto, man, you better watch your back. But I have it locked down tighter than Mr. Dick's headband. I'll go lewd on that one, but I'll keep it decent. Mr. Dick's headband. That's crazy. Mr. Dick's headband. I was going to say of another situation that slipped my mind. It slipped my mind. It'll come back. Yeah. I've said this before. Kelvin H. Mr. Dick's headband. I know that's what you're laughing at. Mr. Dick's headband. Anyway, here's another one for you. And who referred me to this information, I won't say their name. He's come on. It's been a while since he came on, like maybe about a year and a half, 2 years. He's probably came on like 4 or 5 times, whatever. There's nothing I have to hide because nothing he did, but you know, he's a righteous brother. But righteous brothers all know brothers who are still out there and sowing their oats and stuff like that. So here's how it goes. This is a Ghanaian scam, but it's also something I would believe that would be in different countries out here. I'm not trying to demonize the motherland. I love it out here. It's the fountain of youth to me, you know, but it all depends on how you live, right? Because I could be club hopping and drinking and smoking and breaking night every night and eating bad food and be toe up from the flow up, but it's not the case, right? So anyway, he travels a lot. And he has a home in another country here, but he comes through Ghana, Nigeria. He's always out in the motherland for different things because he holds certain positions in organizations and he's constantly traveling. So he has full knowledge, but he is born American, but he is an African man if you ask him. And you could see this, right? So he has other friends that travel, and I know he doesn't mind me telling the story because I'm not putting any names to it. But this is a scam, y'all. Be careful, because women have come at me, and again, I'm not demonizing women. I'm just telling you how it is from this side, what I know. Okay, there's three brothers like this, and three brothers got caught up. And I don't mean DNA, same parent having mothers, but brothers, black men, probably all in their 30s. And they travel out here a lot. And at different times within the same time period, this happened to them. And they keep in contact. They're acquaintances, but they're all friends with my friend. So you have a guy who has to do some business out here with the government or some company, because, people don't understand, you have companies out here too. World players that in different industries, and people have to come out here and do business. And so they'll get an Airbnb for the time that they're supposed to do business. Maybe if they have to do business for 3 weeks, they get the Airbnb for 4 and have a little extra time before jumping on the plane and flying back. So, these guys are single, they do their work. They meet with the people who are the presidents of the companies at nighttime. And then maybe after 2.5 weeks, they got the business done, but they have the Airbnb for 4 weeks. I'm just making this up, a little bit of it, to paint a picture, a combination of all of those three stories, but it all comes down to the same thing. So now you come here, you deal business the first three days intensely. Like you want to get a lot of stuff done. But then that first weekend comes and it's like, wow, I've been dealing from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday morning, kind of stayed in that Thursday, got a little rest. Now it's Friday. They're not going to do anything today. Monday, they're going to go back and resume. It's Friday and I'm rested. Well, let's go down around Osu. Let's go down around East Legon. Let's check out some of the clubs. Well, you go to the club. You're not really dancing. You're just there checking it out. And the women here do, the ones who look good, I sound like Bill Cosby. Oh, the pudding pop, right? Mr. Dick's headband. I'm still thinking about that. What's up with that? Now I'm going to be walking around tomorrow. Mr. Dick's headband. That messed me up. It's stuck in my head. I'm not dreaming about no Mr. Dick's headband. I'm just saying that's going to be in my head. I'm going to have some kind of dream about it. So anyway, he's in the club and he's there sipping on a drink, a little intoxicated, but not out of control because he's in a different country, but he feels safe. So all these pretty women, these devastating shapes and little mini skirts and the thighs, and African women out here, the ones who are built like that, have to get no BBL. Let me tell you something. There's no BBL. First of all, we know them BBLs, most skinny legs looking. That's nasty looking anyway. He's intoxicated not with the liquor that he's consuming, but with what he sees in front of him undulating and smiling. And not that my American sisters are not charming and loving or whatever, but there's a certain way the sisters out here can be so appealing and feminine. And I'm not saying that the American sisters are not, right? Because you got some good out there in America too. I know this. Remember, I'm 60 years old. I've been around the block and my odometer has flipped around a couple of times, so I know. But when they put on, they can really pour it on with a slightly different energy, a slightly different foreign energy than what you're used to, right? So there's no put down here. It's just a different thing. It's just like when women go to Jamaica or women go to other countries and the black men over there, they put it down a different way. I was like, I like this. It's not a put down. It's just a reality, if you understand what I mean. Right? And Tracy Bond said, one for the books for sure. So he's there and he gets to talk to her and they slightly dance a little bit. They're not close, hugged up, not slow dancing, not dancing fast to get sweaty, but they're dancing close and kind of undulating a little bit. And, she's close enough where her breasts are rubbing across his chest, and puts his hands around her waist and his hands on her upper backside, and they're breathing on each other, and there's something happening now. He's asking her name, and, let me get you a drink. You sit down and you talk a little bit, and you're like, whoa, look at this woman. So you realize that she is also college educated and smart too. She's just not some chick that went to the club to go pick up a man for a night of calisthenics. You know, this woman's interesting. She's like, well, how long you staying here, honey? You know, well, I'll be here for another 3 weeks, 3 weeks and a couple days. You know, I got an Airbnb for the month. You know, a little bit of liquor and a beautiful woman is truth serum, because it's not just one head you're thinking about. You know, Mr. Dick's headband is in effect. So, anyway, so you're talking and stuff and you feel a vibe, and you're in a different country and you making a connection like this with such a beautiful woman, smelling so good, looking so good. And, you know, then you make the move now and you're like, well, listen, I'm there by myself. And what are you doing? Where do you stay? She's like, well, you know, I don't stay too far from here, but you said you're by yourself. So what is that, an invitation? And he's like, most definitely. And so now they stay a little bit. They go somewhere, get something to eat. They're talking. He's really checking her out, making sure she's not some scam queen. And so he feels comfortable. And she rubs it in even more. I just hope you don't think anything lowly of me, because I just met you and I'm coming back to your place. Now, what's a guy going to say when you have that very thing on your mind and you worldly and you carnal? What's a guy going to say? Oh, no. I don't think you're like that. Come on, man. She's running game on you. She been doing this because you're a man who appears to have something more to offer. I see some people coming in now, the Cashapp scammers. What is he talking about? In clubs and going back to Airbnbs? No, we talked about that already. You know, I do a little freestyle afterward. Plus, you know, this is a Saturday evening for me. So what do you expect? What do you expect? He's going to damn near tell you how much of a saint you are and how he has the highest respects for you, because he wants to secure his entrance into that special orifice that he knows you have. Exactly, raw reality. He's not going to do anything. What you think he's going to? Well, basically, you know, I wanted to think highly of you, but I think you're a rank whore and you're low down and you're fast. And do you think she's going to come back with him? So he's going to make sure to stroke her ego. So they get back there. He can't believe it. So in the Airbnb, you know, you can cook some things, and, you know, they went to sleep and a little bit got up in the midnight hour, which there wasn't too much of it because they left the club late and went to get something to eat. But there was a couple of hour and a half before the sun came up, and they made the connection. And so now, you know, the first time, and he's in a different country, and now he's thinking paranoid. Oh God, I didn't wear anything, you know, a raincoat, and I hope she's not going to wake up and stab me up and take, you know. So he's sleeping, but he's half sleep. He's not that letting go sleep. Like when you're really with somebody, when you dive into bed when you're in midair, you still, after you did the festivities, you fall asleep before you hit the pillow. It's not like that. So the sleep wasn't so deep, but he woke up and he saw cooking some stuff. You ain't nothing like that morning after. She got a little t-shirt on, one of your shirts on, and she just scrambling them eggs. And when she scrambles the eggs, you know, things are shaking, jiggling a little bit, and you half asleep. Oh my God, I hope she ain't got to go again, but she can stay another night. No, I'm just trying to be funny, y'all. I could stretch this story out for like the next 2 days. Like I said, I feel good tonight and I just feel like entertaining, right? But it's a very serious thing though. So now she's like, I'm making something for you, one of my native dishes, and it's delicious, whatever it is. And now he's really getting, you know, like, wow, maybe she is just a person who just had a vibe with me and wanted to come back. So now that was Friday. Now it's Saturday night. Now it's Sunday night. And she says, well, listen, I got to go back to my place and, you know, get a few more things, because I'm going to stay with you for the whole time you're here. You're phenomenal. Oh my God, I never felt this good. You made me feel so good. Your conversation is so excellent. And now you're thinking like, man, I could make this woman my woman. You know what I mean? Guys think that, like, this is so good. You make me feel good in the bedroom. You're cooking stuff for me. You're talking and you're stroking my ego, telling me how phenomenal I am. I don't care who you are. Unless you're a student of this game of life and know the scams that go on, and everybody is not scamming. You can meet a woman, fellas, and you can meet a man, sister, who is good that way. Really and truly good, where it drops in your lap. And you done been through so much stuff, and now you're not trusting the real thing, but you're confused. Because your stomach is full, and excuse me for saying it, your balls are empty. Empty balls and a full stomach and a pretty girl. You're not thinking of reality right. That's the way to your heart. Remember. And we're so easy to conquer that way. Our gift of discernment is shut down. The gift of discernment is shut down. I don't want to hear no warnings from you. This is too good. Gift of discernment is screaming at you. Like a WWF wrestler on the edge of the rope in a tag team match. You getting beat. He's reaching his hand out. Let me get in there. You're getting beat down. But you don't want to hear it because you just think you can do it on your own. You see what I mean? Exactly. Raw reality. I agree 100%. My name is LANCESCURV, and I agree with Raw Reality's, Yeah, exactly, Dr. Tracy Bond. We got to talk real. This is not even being lewd. This is adult conversation about things that really and truly happen in real life. And we lose it. We lose it. And I lost it. And I lost it. The whole town's laughing at me. Excuse me for telling my age. Teddy Pendergrass. So now she comes back. She brings clothes, which means permanency, which means for the next 3 weeks, this is going to be heaven in Ghana in this Airbnb. So when you do your business on Monday, you leave it there. You have your wallet. You have your expensive things on you. So you don't worry about that. You have your laptop with you. She's not going to steal your clothes, right? She's not going to steal the food. But she says, baby, I'll be here waiting for you. I'm going to straighten up a little bit. I might take a walk out and shop for a few things and come back. And you're like, man, you're getting this feeling. I didn't expect this. I come all the way to a different country and I have a trial wife. From the first day we met and we flowed like this is blowing my mind. My stomach is so full. My testicles are drained and throbbing. Happy balls, that's what I call it. So nothing can go wrong in this world. And guess what? That whole next week is heaven must be like this. It must be like this. Man, perfection. Now when you sleep at night, boy, your face is contorted all down in that pillow. Either she's spooning you, but most you're spooning her. And when you're down in it and you're getting this soul tie that shouldn't be happening, but it's happening anyway, you're spooning her, it feels good, and you're reaching over and you fall asleep with a titty in your hand. I don't know about you, too much information, but when you're spooning somebody and you're into them, you gotta sleep with a titty in your hand. Don't know about that. Let me get an amen, fellas. This is adult church tonight, right? Anyway, you wake up, she's there. You go to the bathroom, she's knocked out. But into the second week, it's still heaven. But guess what? She got you where she wants you. A couple times you try to wear the condom, and she didn't mind. She said, baby, it's something about you. It's okay. It feels better this way. So now you far gone, brother. You too far gone. Now you start thinking devious. While I'm enjoying myself and while I have a feeling for this woman, I'm going to enjoy it. And I'm going to spray paint these walls from the top to the bottom, from the rooter to the tutor, if you know what I mean. I'm letting it go. I'm falling. Timber! You falling down. And she loves it. It's just like a computer that's uploading something from another computer. The other computer is downloading it, and the other computer is sucking in that information faster than the other computer can give it, and it defeats you, and you fall into the deepest slumber, the deepest sleep. And it feels so good. You floating over the bed like Linda Blair in The Exorcist, except there's no demon there. Or so you think. So after another week and a half, 2 weeks of that, it's time for you to go. But what you didn't realize, as she pleads for you to keep in contact and let me know when you're going to come back. And maybe if I get a little money up to come out there, we can get together and do this again. I hope that we can be together soon. Gonna make it real soon. And for good time's sake and old time's sake, you know, it's time for you to go, but you want a dose of happy balls for the road. And you're really sealing your doom. So you didn't realize a week and a half before, when you were in your alcoholic stupor and orgasmic bliss slumber, your wallet's sitting there now because you trust it. Your cell phone, your wallet, everything is there before you kind of put it and tucked it somewhere where she didn't see it. But all of that just melted away. Melted away. Instant trust. Full stomach and empty balls can do a man wrong. Well, she grabbed your wallet and went to the restroom. And she whispered in your ear. You're half asleep. Baby, I'm going to go to the restroom. My stomach feels a little, you know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, don't worry. Take your time, baby. I ain't got to go to the bathroom. So she closes the door. And she sits on the toilet. And after 5 minutes, when she knows that she went back to sleep deeper, she took her time and locked the bathroom door. If you were up, you'd probably say to yourself, I'm not going to barge in if she's doing the number 2 or whatever. She's in there doing woman things, you know. But she locked the door and you didn't know it. She has your wallet. She has a paper and a pen and her phone. So she's taking out cards one by one. She's not really looking to scam you with a credit card, but she's making sure she has everything in that wallet. Your license that has your address. If you have your social security card, oh, that's even worse. Work ID. She has everything about you written down and on her phone. And she's slick. She pulled out one by one and put it back in order. And so she left the bathroom. She took her time and kept it in her hand. You know, when you come back to bed, the person they're breathing is like far away, and then, oh, okay, baby, you're back. All right. And she waited till the breathing went far away. Because it sounds like when, you know, you ever lay in the bed, you hear a car go by, like on the highway or 2 roads over. Rain, and it goes off into the distance. But that's how sleepy breathing is. Because you can tell when somebody's waking up, right? So you wait until they fall all the way back asleep again, and you stretch over and you put the wallet where it was. You put your pen on your side where it was. But that piece of paper, your handbag, you put it next to the bed because you knew what you was going to do. You stuck it inside the handbag and your cell phone. You got all this information. Why? 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 Why did she get all your information? Because why you think, let's just say it the street way, I can't dress it up. Why you think that she let you bust all up inside of her, man? You think it was really love? Sometimes it could be. Things happen. But come on, man. But you thought, just like with the scams, greed, the carnal thing going on, like, well, if something happened, I ain't gonna be nowhere around. It's a whole different country. She don't know nothing about me. Little do you know. So now you get back to America and she don't really call you because she didn't really want to have to call you. She wasn't really into you. This is what happened in real life. Some of you heard this story. Don't give the punchline. But it happened in all 3 situations in a very similar manner. American black man comes to the motherland. He evidently is gainfully employed on a higher level, making good money, professional, smelling good, dressed professional. They can smell it. And they get with these guys. You think it's end of story? No, because of course, when you paint the walls, okay, there's another situation coming, a pregnancy, but you don't care. You had your good experience and it was good. But she has your information. And there's a little thing called the American Embassy. The American Embassy. When you step into or on the land of a foreign embassy, you are on foreign land. These women, all three of them, because it was 3 different men, 3 different women, went to the American Embassy. And this is not just about Ghana, y'all. This is all over the world. Went to the American Embassy, spoke to the appropriate person and said, listen, I am pregnant from an American man. And I would like for him to do a test to see if he is the father or not. And you know he is. You know what they do? They take the information, track him down to the appropriate county. And from there, because they are in America now, they can have that thing happen in America to contact you and make you take a test. The paying is coming later. And when you're discovered to be the father, Maury Povich, you are the father. You got to pay money, and that money stretches out here, and they are living like a queen. If she can catch 2 or 3 other brothers like that. Because see, the stigma out here is not when you have 4 or 5 kids behind you and you're young. It's not a stigma out here like it is in America. And again, I'm not saying that in an insulting way, because there are a lot of proper situations, and there are a lot of unfortunate situations where maybe the man passed away or just didn't work out. You know, you can't say that, oh, them black women, they're all welfare queens. Oh, you can't say that. Because I've known some sad situations that happened where a woman ended up destitute and she had a good man that passed away, but he spoiled and didn't make her know anything about the business or anything. She just took care of the kids at home and things just fell apart. So we can't say it all the time that's the situation. But the bottom line is that here, they look at you funny if you get to a certain age and you don't have several children. You get to 30, and I'm not saying this is a hard set rule. This is an unwritten rule in the culture from what I see, because I've talked to different people. You all know I talk a lot. So you know when I run into somebody in the street and we're talking, I'm asking some questions, you know? Not in a direct insulting way, but I got ways of squeezing it out of them. But the thing is here, if you get to a certain age, you don't have a baby, they don't care if it's from different fathers. They don't care. They act like they care, like it should be undermarried. No, but deep down, that's a normal thing, and that's something that is supposed to be done. So they don't care. But they're going to get you for child support. You know what they can do with that money out here? In certain instances, it stretches. In certain instances, like you buy a car out here, it's going to be the same price. They're going to tack a little more if it's imported from somewhere, those fees, right? But building a house up in the mountains is much cheaper. But a lot of times they don't live like that, but they're getting that money. And really it's all about money. And I got to say 3 times, or really 2 good times, or 3 times out of here, women have told me, I'd like to have a baby with you. Like, okay, push the baby button out of my side, slot of my stomach, and out pops the baby. No. You know what I mean? No, it's bigger than that. I told you the story of the young lady who I walked home off of the Trocho, which is a van, a commuter van. You all see them on my videos. She was falling asleep, knocked out. Very attractive lady. I was by myself, but I was going to hit on her. I mean, I'm a man. I know when I see an attractive woman. I'm a straight man, and I know when I see a guy, I say, man, you're going to get a lot of girlfriends out here, man. You're very I don't say it because they might think, oh, I'm down low. I'm not some dude, I ain't going to give nobody no props. No, give them props. That's not what I always do. You know what I mean? But, you give, hey man, that's a good shirt you got on, man. Where'd you get that from? It fits you well. I'm at that age and I'm secure in who I am. Right? So anyway, she got off the van and I was getting off the same stop. So I went into the store real quick, came out. She got down half a block and she was struggling. She had like 5 bags, heavy bags, 2 in one hand, 3 in the other. I say, nah. So I said, I walked up behind her. I said, she's going in the same direction. So I said, well, listen, I'm going in this direction, ma'am. I said, I'll be glad to help you. Oh, really? Would you? She was so shocked because I found out another thing too. The Ghanaian women out here, they do all the work. If the man is walking with them, he ain't carrying no bags. I'm like, what? I had a woman tell me, and she's well known, this woman who told me, and she's a school teacher, and she's known, and she tells me a lot of the deep secrets, right? Even on, now let me go off on another tangent and come back on, right? Even with, she also has a store. And I was asking, I said, why is everybody buying the brown eggs and not buying the white eggs? I said, is this egg racism or something? Reverse. So she said, no. She says, the reason why a lot of Ghanaians don't buy the white eggs is because, especially in Nigeria and also here too, a lot of rituals are done with the white eggs, but not with the brown. I was like, for real? So you can tell somebody who, when they emphasize just getting brown eggs, that they possibly have knowledge or into certain things, but it really does make a difference. So I'm like, wow, I learned something today. I got a knack for learning things that I'm somewhere different. But anyway, I'm walking it down. I'm holding all the bags, even though that third bag on the right hand was ripping my fingers down. I was like, oh man. So I had to take a little kerchief I had in my pocket and put it in the palm of my hand and then grab the handles, so it didn't pull me down so much, right? So we were walking, talking. She's like, I know you're a Brony, which means foreigner, right? It used to mean white man, now it just means foreigner. I'm like, yeah, I'm from America. And I told her a bit about myself in general. And she was telling me about herself in general. It was a kind of long walk. Right? So I had to put the bags down at one point because I'm not Superman. I used to be. So we're talking there and everything. She said, you're very nice for doing this. And you're very nice. And she told me a name. I forgot what the name was. But she lived around the corner from me in the first apartment that we had when we got here. There was a second apartment. This the first one. And oh boy, it was at the pits. So we got down to the corner of her block, and my block was the next block. I said, well, listen, I'll walk you down. Yeah, I'll walk you down and take you over to your door. I didn't intend on going in a place, whatever. She told me she lived with her brother and all that stuff. They can take it from there. So we walked down, and then she started talking. We stood up there for like about 7 or 8 minutes talking, which seemed like an eternity. And so innocently, because this is what I do, I collect people, whether it's male or female or midget or giant. Innocently, she said, well, we got to keep in contact. And we exchanged numbers. And the way we did it, the way I did it was like, hey, give me your number, baby. No, because I'm in a new country. I want to explore. I'm going to, you never know. You network. Sometimes it goes south. So anyway, me and Mrs. SCURV saw again. And I told Mrs. SCURV about it. And I said, well, this is the young lady we met, whatever. Oh, hi, how are you? Whatever. So we walked down the long stretch. It was time perfect. So that happened a couple of times. I didn't see her for a month or two. And so I saw her again. I was by myself. And it was about to rain. And it started raining real bad. So her and I got in this doorway, which was kind of huge. It was this store that was under construction, and it had a deep doorway. So it wasn't any intimate, pressed up on each other type thing. But it was somewhat intimate because nobody else was around. It was raining heavy. So she's talking to me about wanting to go to America and all this. I said, wow, I'm thinking like, okay, you're going, you know what I mean? In her mind, she was trying to swing it around to me taking her and taking her to America. And I have to say it, men and women here, a lot of them, they have this ideal, this way of looking at America, and it's heaven. Everything's perfect. Everybody just drives brand new cars, lives in mansions, they watch the movies, and they get the wrong idea. Even when they see things that reveal the real deal about America, the good and the bad. There's good and there's bad. Living conditions, the drugs, the crime, homelessness, the joblessness. You know, they kind of ignore that like, that's a trick. We know America's real good. So she's thinking that. So she told me, she says, you know, I know your wife and I know you, but this is my chance. And I have to ask you. I said, what's going on? You know, do you have an abusive man at home and it's your chance to break free and you want to get the authorities? You know, when something happens or somebody says something, my mind goes through a whole movie, right? So she said, no, but I want to go to America, but I want to have a baby with you. Me? It was like she punched me in the face. Like not just a general baby, but with me. And so my mind was flipping out. She's like a stone cold assassin, man. You just gonna ask me that and you know, come on. She says, nobody has to know. We can have this baby. You don't have to take care of it. Come on. Now you know. You're really trying to lure me in. And me as a man, if I have a child, I'm not saying in those circumstances, but if it was those circumstances and I slipped up, if I was to slip up, I'm going to be a man about it. And take care of my responsibility. No matter what happens, I have to. I can't not do it. But I won't do it to put myself in a situation where I have to do it. Not in that situation. And she had it all mapped out. And I know that's what she wanted to do. What she wanted to do was get pregnant, hang out for 8 months, 8.5 months, and let's go to America. And we're going to drop that baby on American soil. I'm not saying everybody's looking to do that, but 2 or 3 other times, no, 2 other times. I think it was more so a stronger one where the woman was on me. So that's why I just kind of, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'll tell you another one. Let me take a sip. And this one's crazy. I see what you said, K. Levy. I got to take another sip because I almost like splattered my computer screen with sticky juice. No. We're talking about juice you drink. Watch out for the Klingons. Rory Alley said, damn, she did not care about you being married. Flora Elizabeth Radcliffe Hooks, how are you? Welcome on in. You're on Facebook. You're not seeing everybody on YouTube. Come on in on YouTube if you want everybody else to see you. It's kind of lonely over there on Facebook. So just come to YouTube, LANCESCURV, and you can join up with everybody. Chrissy893. I was just telling somebody that, and somebody was just telling me that. I thought my life has been jammed packed. And in talking to a friend, it's like, it's your personality, right? But I try to act like I don't have a personality because sometimes it's too much. People come around me and they feel relaxed, which is cool. And we react and things happen or you see things. I'm always one seeing something. I have a friend of mine that always says, GTFO. Get the F out of here. Every time she hears it, I'll tell you who it is, Madam Whip-Ass. She couldn't believe like things I would tell her. Lance, you're making this up. This you always had. You could be visiting me. It was a platonic relationship. You could be visiting me and go to the corner store and come back and you got a movie ready to tell me. No, it's just that's the way it is. Now the way I tell it, I'm gonna stretch it out, but I'm not gonna lie in it, right? So, what was the other one? Oh God, what was the other one? I'm slipping. I'm feeling so good. This is a natural high. I have you all to rap with and everything here on the show. And that's how we do these shows. We'll do something, put down some information, talk about a topic, and then we'll flow. But because it's Saturday evening, I'm not going to stay on too much longer, y'all. I want to write something, and tomorrow we're going to come back with some more stuff. But thanks for the compliment, Chrissy893. Right? What was this one? This one. Oh, yes. I can say it now. Not that I couldn't say it before, but when everybody knows after the fact, I didn't say it at the time, but Mr. SCURV's father passed away, in 22. he, not him, but she stayed a little while. And as soon as I dropped her, it's like a spirit thing, y'all. It's like a spirit thing. And this is weird. As soon as I dropped her to the airport, because she's like, it doesn't make sense for both of us to go out. We still got things he was doing, whatever. It's okay, no problem. You know, we already decided that. So I'm walking out the airport. And so I was going to say, you know me, but there's things about me you don't know, but I'll say it this way. Whenever I'm out somewhere by myself, and it was like, okay, she's leaving the country. I'm by myself. No rush to get home. Wasn't like let me go look around and see what I can get into now that I'm free. No, I'm a little boy that way, y'all. I've always been adventurous, always want to see things and just innocent and just like want to have people come along with me. We tell some stories, we tell some jokes. You're going to have a good time with me, right? So I'm walking and I said to myself, well, I was kind of rested all day because we knew she was leaving, and they have a clump of hotels like near the airport, really nice hotels and establishments and everything. And I like that. You know, I want my dose of the city life sometime. And right now it kind of like drains me and disgusts me. Like when I get around down in Accra in the city, let me get back home, let me get out of here. One of my friends said, man, you getting old. This is not the Lance I know growing up. You always looking for the excitement. I'm like, well, listen, I am the excitement. I don't need to run it down. So I'm walking around and there's this woman walking down the street. But the woman was big, tall. And I'm like, that's a big woman. And there was nobody else in the street because it was a late flight. And things wind down out here, even in a crowd early, unless you where the clubs are and stuff like that, where the action is. This woman looked like she was 7 feet tall from a distance. And I'm walking up the street. And so she knew me from social media. So she's calling my name and I'm looking at her. I don't know why. I wasn't scared like a little punk, but it was eerie. And it was like all the sounds stopped. Not that it was bustling traffic around, but just the normal stuff. It was still busy. And the streets were empty now. And it seemed like it was quiet and she was getting closer. And the street lights were high up, casting a shadow on her face. She looked spooky. She wasn't like 7 feet, but she had to be like damn near 6 feet with these heels on. And she was a thick woman, nice shape and everything, but she was thick. But she wasn't young. She wasn't much younger. Maybe she had to be like a rough 45. You know what I mean? Like how you live at certain ages depend how you look. But she didn't look rough, but it looks like maybe in her early life she had a rough life, but she was okay now, but it still took some years, put some years on her. So she's talking to me, oh my God, whatever, you know. And I was in jolly mode where like everything is all right, everybody's trustworthy. And why did I say this? I said it by mistake. I said, oh, you know, I just dropped Mr. SCURV off at the airport. And I realized I made a mistake. You don't share that kind of information. You don't know who she knows. You don't know who she's connected to. I didn't say it to say the coast is clear. No, I did not. And as street smart as I am, sometimes when I'm in that little boy mode, because I was walking around like, wow, look at that hotel. Look at the lights on it. Look at this. Look at that. And so I'm like a little kid that a stranger walks up to and little kids in the yard. Little boy, is your mommy home? No, my mommy's not here. She went to the store and she said she's going to be gone for a couple hours, but my 18-year-old brother's inside, but he's in the backyard with his girlfriend, right? So now he knows he can snatch me or something. And I just had a moment. So I got a car, a taxi was going by. I wanted to go where the Trochos were, where the commuter vans were. And so she said, oh, I'm going in that direction. Can I just ride down the 2 blocks with you? I said, no problem. So she rode with me and everything. And so she was going into one of the hotels. Don't know what for. Like, you know, that's what was suspect. So I get home and it was my second apartment at the time. I was by myself feeling all weird. You know, when somebody leaves you, like to go travel in another country, and I'm in another country and I was still fresher here. It's a weird feeling. So I'm there, and all of a sudden, I'm looking at the phone. I said, okay, it's a local number. And, because I had both my numbers up on and, my WhatsApp and the other one. And I got a call. Hello? Hello, Lance? Yes. I didn't know who it was. Oh, this is whatever her name was. Sally or something like that. Sal or Sally or whatever. Yes, we met just a little while ago. Where are you living? And I was smart. I'm in Ghana. You know what I'm talking about. Getting all friendly with me when we just met in passing. I want to know where you live. And so there's no language barrier here because most Ghanaians speak some type of English and Tree, but sometimes the English is not as worked on and it can come off rude, like I'm just demanding. I've noticed that with a lot of Nigerians that I know, I want to do, I want to do, no, you are going to do, oh, talk to me like that, man. It's just a cultural difference, right? So she's asking me where I live and then she's telling me she wants to come over that same night. And then she's telling me, and I gotta repeat it without cussing, but she basically told me, I always wanted you, and she had a deep kind of voice, but she was a woman. I always wanted you, and now that I met you, I want to take care of you for Mrs. SCURV. I told her all about it too. I want to take care of you for Mrs. SCURV. I want to suck this. I want to lick this. I will cook for you, and I will lick your backside. I will do it. And she didn't say backside. She went down the whole list of her qualifications that she had in her mind. Just like that. Other times they say men are dogs, and they are sometimes, oftentimes. But there's some women out here who are kitty cats who will come at you. I was scared. Not that if I wasn't scared, I would have done something. No. But it was scary because I'm thinking about all kinds of scenarios. I'm like, imagine I did let her come over here. She's probably going to have a carload of dudes, they think I have money, bust in the apartment. Or she slips something in some juice I'm drinking, knock me out. Nah, that was scary. And today's date, and that was in 2022, in March. Well, right now it's January 10th, the 27th, I'm sorry. I said 10 because it said 10:53. My eyes were crossed. I'm like, what am I talking about? January 27th on a Saturday, right? I have switched local numbers and she always seems to get it. But this last one I had up, but I had some other ones. I had a SIM card stolen. How did she get my numbers? That was something. There's something up with that. Something up with that. And I ain't pick up and you still calling me till this day, till today? Couple months went by now, they got this number. You're ringing it. That's scary to me. And knock you out, put something in your drink, and you wake up naked with all kind of white lines on you, hanging upside down from a tree with flames under you, and she's speaking something, and the guy's paint on her face and doing some ritual. He ain't getting me in no damn ritual. Because you got a thing called sex magic also. And I want to research that. I want to talk to certain people I know, and I want to talk about that. How they can be so powerful and hypnotic, and it just comes over you, and you just go with them, and they use you for whatever. A lot of the stuff out here, I'll be honest, ain't working. But there's a few out here, from what I see, who know what they doing. The majority is fake or weak. It depends on the individual, how strong you are. But there's something up with it out here. And I ain't trying it. That's why I go somewhere, you're going to know where I'm going, and I'm getting my behind back in here. Not out of fear, because I'm going to explore. I'm going to explore for sure. No problem. But I'm not going to push the envelope. Yes, Dr. Tracy, but I got to put that up on the screen. Yeah. Reality's like, damn, she was letting it all out. And the way she said it, Now, you know, I'm not trying to use no profanity. I'm trying to be Mr. Nice Guy. I'm going to say it. I'm going to fuck you. I'm going to suck you. I'm going to lick your balls. And I'm going to lick your ass. When she said that, ass. Like, yo, what are you, growling or something? Sorry for the profanity. But sometimes you just have to say it like it is. Like I was going to jump up. You remember Scarface at the end when he had the phone and he was trying to hold onto the phone and he was juggling between both hands. He had all the cocaine in front of him. She really thought, okay, take a helicopter over. Come over now because you want to lick my ass. No. It's crazy. Some of the people. Then you got the subtle spirits out here. And remember, it's the men too toward the women in a different way. They ain't gonna walk up to you, how you doing? I want to lick your backside. But I took a picture and I didn't show it. I was gonna put it in the community section of this channel. You know? I was gonna put it there. I was in the Accra Mall and I noticed they had a sign in the bathroom, the restroom. Of course, no drinking. Like you buy alcohol and go to the bathroom and drink. Well, of course, some people are crazy. No drinking, no smoking, no soliciting, no sex. They put that up there because for a reason. They get laid with each other. And those bathroom stalls in the Accra Mall, they are clean and they have privacy. When you close the door, ain't that little tiny 2mm crack that when you're sitting on the bowl, if you sit on it, people can push their eye and look at you. And it goes all the way to the top and it's sealed, has a little metal thing to overlap the door from the bottom to the top. You are completely private and the lock is tight. So I could imagine. But all of that stuff goes on out here too. And they have the term called slayers, right? Slayers. Like, what's that, man? I don't want to meet no slayer, man. What, you gonna take a machete and chop me up? No. These are women who frequent public places and at the mall or down in the club areas. And they're prostitutes, basically. You know, they don't act like it in the shopping mall, but a lot of tourists are there. And it's all in the eyes. It's the eye contact. You know, you lock eyes with them. They smile. You might smile by being friendly. If you're naive, you don't know. Then later on, she taps you on the shoulder. Halfway through the mall, she followed you to see if you're with somebody. Oh, hi, you look like somebody I know. What is your name? And it just throw that charm on you. And you'll be paying up later on. They don't want no baby out of you. They want that money. Right? So there's one walking outside. I had the camera in my hand the other day and I saw her face and I don't know where I know her from. She was somewhere else and I identified her as that. In the times that I've gone down to Osu. I've gone to the restaurants. I've gone inside the club. Not as no 60-year-old man trying to pick up some chick. No. But I'm new here, so I want to see what's going on. I want to catch the vibe. And I would throw off the vibe that I'm not here for that. But when you know there's certain streets in Osu on Oxford Street, oh, if you know Oxford Street, you know there's a certain part, a block, I think it's like a block up from KFC, coming up more, nothing but prostitutes. Not like discreet either. And these young ladies ain't on crack, they're very healthy. So it's very eye-catching, like, whoa! These are the late 1970s hookers that they had on the west side of Manhattan before crack. They were healthy. They look like women. But it's out here too. I mean, you wouldn't think of that. You think of motherland and, you know, you're kissing the ground in a quaba and you're feeling this sense of restoration. And they got hookers in the street. What the hell's going on? I didn't come all this way to see this. You know what I mean? I'm thinking kente cloth and ox and ancestors and reconnecting. I'm not trying to pay for no prostitute. Let me take a sip. Mr. Dick's headband. Let me take a sip. I did tell you in the beginning of this show I was feeling good. I didn't know I was going to be talking like this. I'm just relaxed tonight. Charles Wilson says, way to me. Oh, I think it meant way too many Jezebels out here. For me, she devils, crazy as hell, and real, yeah, very dangerous. And I'll tell you, since we're on this subject, might as well just keep on flowing with it. TikTok in Ghana and a lot of other places in Africa. Y'all heard the show I did when I used that voicemail, right? Hope you did. TikTok is the new hoe stroll. Now, we call it different things in different parts of the country in America. I don't mean to call women hoes, but you know, when they do that kind of work, they will get called that. That's not me. I'm just paraphrasing. The stroll where the hoes go, where the prostitutes go. They walk up and down, and you have these married middle-aged men with the little child seat in the back and driving the family station wagon with the license plate hanging off, trying to be discreet. We know who you are. You ain't gonna drive your luxury vehicle with your last name on the plate, Dr. So-and-so, Professor So-and-so. No. See? And these are areas where they go in different parts of the country. You know, I learned with the truck drivers, when they go to the truck stops, they call them lot lizards. Lot lizards. That's what it is. Let me go. Raw reality, I gotta see you drop some good comments, so I gotta put them up. The reason they're like that over there is because there's no social service like we have here in America. Exactly. So they're trying to get money the best way and the easiest way they can. Yeah. So I can't come down on them. It is what it is. There's no help. That's another thing I have to say, which helps to facilitate this thing to happen even more so. Let me stand up for a second. I've been sitting down like a bus driver. Anyway, there's no welfare. There's no, like you say, social services. There's no Section 8. No, nothing. So it's not like they had it and they don't have it. They never had it. So there's no possibility of anything. You best to get what you're supposed to get on your own. On your own. And this is why it's such a sense of urgency to do it the so-called legitimate way, because you know you have Islam and you have Christianity out here, a little more Christianity than Muslims. But you go up to northern Ghana, there's nothing but Muslims and a few Christians. But everybody respects each other's religion. I'm bringing that up because of having that fear of going to hell keeps people here, because many are highly religious, but it still doesn't mean anything, because they'll act that way. See, they're not going to stab you. They're not going to put a gun to your head, because that's wrong. They'll more rip you off when you're trying to buy something, and they'll charge you more. Or behind closed doors, they will try to offer you a huge bowl of genitalia cake full of crotch sauce for your carnal pleasures, just as long as you don't say anything. And they're big on that out here. You don't see lots of affection, like the affection between family. They hug, hey, you know, whatever. You may see that. You might see that. But look in any public area, malls and parks, and they could be with each other, a man and a woman, and they don't usually show affection in a public way. You won't see that. If it's tourists, you know, they're going to hold hands and hug and kiss and laugh and cuddle each other and all that stuff, sitting on the park bench. You don't see that like we see it in America, even though there's a lot of hateful things going on out there. You go to the spots at night where couples go, and there's restaurants and clubs and different venues and different happenings happening. You'll see that, but you don't see it out here. So when people creep up on you with their little office, wanting to have a baby, wanting to, you know, so it's not even like, with that whole situation, not to bring it up again, it's not even like Like, oh, we're going to have sex. She don't even think about that. Sex out here, and it's like a transaction. If there's any Ghanaians listen to me, I'm not saying everybody, so I'm not trying to, I love it out here. I'm not trying to put it down, but I'm just saying it's different. And you have transactional situations in America and the UK, also in the West. But it just seems like mechanical, like you can't tell what's going on between a man and a woman out here. And it's in their eyes. I'm walking down the street, like, you know, the markets and stuff, where people are out on the curb selling stuff, and there's some good fruits and good vegetables and good stuff. You know, and you got the girls who, and I'll say it again, they call it the kata girls. I read this long article about it. I know who, you know, what it was all about. And I'll wrap it up with this one, but this is a good one here too, right? And let me see if there's any points that need to be made. Okay, yeah. Dr. Tracy Bond said, genderless Jezebels too. The demons are definitely out to confuse too. The he, him, she, her, them, they, and you. That's true. But you know what made me laugh? What's the song years ago? You, me, and him, or me, you, and she. What we gonna do, baby? Well, in this day and age, it'll be long like that. It'll be the shem, the she, the it, the all these different categories. For real. Let me read this one here. Charles Wilson. It's worldwide. We live in a sin-sick world. That's exactly why I walk alone, stay to myself, and spend time to myself, and by myself, and check and go see people to make sure they're okay. That's it. You're right. You're right. That's right. Great points of rural reality. That's why some Africans want to go to America. Yeah, pretty sure they were hookers in the motherland before they were in the country. You're right. You're right. God, now I'm forgetting what I was going to tell you. Oh, man, what's wrong with me? I'm feeling good, but my mind's not slipping. I got like 5 tracks that, you know, I'm thinking about tomorrow morning's show. I'm on this one. I'm thinking about what I'm going to draw tomorrow, or sketch, what I'm going to write tonight. My mind's all over the place. God, what was I? Let me remind myself before I looked at this thing. I'm having a serious brain fart here. Oh, the kata girls. Yes, the kata girls. The kata is that thing, little piece of cloth they put on the head to balance and have a snug fit with the big bowl, the big thing they put in their head and they carry the stuff, right? And the kata girls are girls that, they could be grown women, right? Doesn't matter. Usually from what I'm hearing, you know, because of the lack of opportunities out in the country to make large cash. And yeah, I got to take my yes, I am Movado 242. You, me, and he, and she, and it, and trans, and questioning, and LGBTQ. What we gonna do, baby? Let me take a sip of this again. Oh boy, I'm gonna sleep good tonight. Yes, I don't know karate, but I know crazy. I'm just so glad I can talk out my head like this and be uninhibited. You all understand me. You know, I'm a decent guy. You know I would never embarrass you if you invited me over to your house for dinner around family. Why did I bring him here? He's still talking crazy. Where you know him from? Why you bring him over here? That man's nuts. So yeah, the kata girls. And what I found out in this article, and I wish I can pull that article up. I'm going to probably try to Google it and search it. Very interesting article. And it spoke on the unique and belabored, challenging existence of being a kata girl. And I say girl, but we know grown women and girls. A lot of them will come from in the country, not near Kumasi, not near Accra, but way out in the country. And they want to make money. They probably want to make money to get an education, to get a better job, and something to do instead of just stay in the little village where they are. We're talking way out. And when I get to driving soon next year, that's on my plan and budget, I want to go out to these places and show that, because everybody goes to a crime shows stuff on the videos and the monuments and all this stuff. I want to go way out. And out there, you're going to look good. You're going to be healthy. Good, clean food, farming, you know. You might not live in a palatial estate, but what else is there? I've been some places out here so far, there's no cell phone signal. So people in them villages, they'll have a cell phone. They got to go into town to get the cell phone to work where they can get a little bit of a signal. And a lot of these young ladies, they see stuff on the phone. We don't want to just be here till we're old and, you know, pounding out palm oil and just being somebody's wife. And I got to be, you know, whatever, share the wife thing, the sister wife thing. Let them say, no, I want a better life. And a better life for them may not be something that many of us may not think is such, like they want to be the top this or a surgeon, or it may be just to make an income and live in what they may think is better circumstances, which lots of times it's not. Because those of us who are in the big cities want to run out to the country, you know what I mean? And people from the country, oh, I love the city, but you don't know the stresses that come with it. And believe you me, Accra is a dog-eat-dog mentality when it comes to hustling money. It never stops. That's why there's commerce everywhere. Somebody's selling something everywhere. And like meerkats, I'm not being funny, they don't miss nothing. Especially when they see somebody like me. Oh, he's a foreigner. He's a foreigner. He must have money. Now, where I live in the town above me, they're getting to know me. It's like, okay, he lives here. But I have to get used to being relegated to be a forever tourist. Because as soon as I go to a place off the beaten path where people don't know my face, I'm a tourist. I'm going to try to hustle. So the Kata girls will go down around the markets. They come down, and I'll tell you about the living conditions later. They're not making much money. They will see you buying something, tap you on the shoulder, smile at you, because deep in the country, their English may not be so good. That's just an assessment. That's not a put down. So they stand next to you, and it can get annoying, but you understand they're trying to make money. And I don't care how much stuff you put in several bags, they will put it on that big aluminum bowl on their head and carry that bad boy to your car or as you shop. And they will tell you how much after, you know, and then you give them a little bit more because they're never really asking that much, or they take it to where you are to get on the van. And they could be some slim girls, they could be heavy set, but a lot of times, if they were heavy set, they won't be that way anymore after all of that kind of work up and down in the hot sun trying to hustle. First of all, you got to get somebody who will pay you. And you have dozens of these girls walking around. They have their little aluminum bowl or whatever, big, so they can carry a lot of stuff and put it right on their head and walk with it. I'm like, these girls' spines are going to be messed up. But they walk strong. Like them little white girls walk with a book on their head so they can walk even before they go into the modeling thing or the beauty pageant or whatever. They got something with 70, 80 pounds on the bad boy. Slim black girl, long neck and no strain. You don't want to corner one of them in a violent way, they will kick your behind. They training all day. And so you'll see very specific tribal marks and different things, tattoos on the face, not some gang stuff or some satanic stuff, but that's just what it is. It's very interesting, actually, right? Jeff Spark, Queens, New York in the house. Welcome on in. I'm glad you're here. We vibing tonight. It's one of them fun shows. So they're there. You see them standing there, 2 or 3 of them. You're like, no, it's okay. I don't need it. They'll still stand there. Okay, they got to make their money. They're not going to give up an opportunity because you might change your mind. So they help you to the van or your car or wherever. But I notice when I'm by myself, the lingering looks go on a little longer. If I'm buying something, I usually don't need to utilize his services because every time I go down into the town, I have to bring something back, right? Instead of waiting for the one big shopping and no, I'm not driving yet. So I bring back a little something, little 2 small bags of something and top it off. That's my method. So there was one woman who, she was young. She had to be like about maybe 21, 22. She just kept following me around. And I told her I didn't need it. I'm not buying much. And so in broken English, she was speaking with me and everything. And she told me, I want to have your number. I want to have your number. And when one of the other girls came with that knew her, she stopped talking like that. She laughing, speaking her language. And then the other girl said, is she bothering you? I said, no, she's not bothering me. Because I actually wanted to get her on camera and ask her a few questions. I like to take people, I want you to see what I see. So anyway, I got in the van and got out of there, and I was thinking, but I got a hold of this article that spoke on them, how, like I said, a lot of times they come from other places in Ghana and they do this kind of work, and you know, their living conditions are real because they don't make much money, so they have to go the cheapest way. So you have these houses or apartments where the landlord will rent out the whole place for the kata girls. And the kata girls don't have a room. They don't have a bed. This is not a regular thing where I'm going home. There's several places like this. And it's on a first come, first served basis. And guess what? You get charged. It's dirt cheap. But you better pick a place on the floor to sleep next to somebody who you may or may not know. So it may be in the living room. And in the living room, there might be 25 people, depending on the size of the living room. You peek in there. If there's a spot you can go to, you go and you lay down on the ground. You might have to put your kata behind your head. Is it guaranteed that everybody gets a shower when they wake up? No. It may not be that kind of thing. The toilet may not flush. Well, you got 25 people in one room, somebody's backside got to go. And if you can't flush, could you imagine what it smells like? They were basically speaking about the deplorable conditions where they're exploited for a little bit of money that they get. Some will sleep on the porch. There'll be bedrooms with nothing on the floor. So you might have 60, 70, 80 kata girls in a home. If it's 2 stories or wherever you can find a space on the floor to sleep, you sleep. Now, this is not everyone. Some may get together and get a small room and share a bed. And there's 3 of them sleeping or whatever. They're flushing the toilet, getting a shower. But there's so many of them working. And now here you go. Some get pregnant. They may not be getting pregnant because of a scam, but they have feelings too. And there is a high rate of STDs and things that get transferred. They're not out there whoring around. But the caliber of dudes that they're going to meet that may say, hey, come on, let's hang out. I'll get you something to eat and we'll hang out. You know, good. And like I said, sex is transactional out here. It's not like, well, you have to promise me true love and you have to promise me. No. You did that for me. Thank you. I'm going to bend over. I'm going to let you have your way and I'll be on my way. Not that they say it that way, but it's inferred. It's inferred. If I go down there looking like Uncle Fester, look at the band on my head, I'm glowing. I don't have the red around me. And I do something for somebody a little extra. Well, chances are they're going to offer something that they think I have in high value. Right? Transactional. It's just the way it is. They're going to do what they do. Like was said, there's no social services like that. Prenatal care. What? You better plop that baby out the best way you can. You can get that if you have insurance and you're paying. So what they do also, like I've noticed, and I want to bring my camera to it, but I don't want to just shine it on the thing and then like get screamed at. Not that I'm scared of getting screamed at, but I want to be respectful because I walk around the street. People know my face because I stand out. Because I'm a foreigner. I'm a black man, but I'm a foreigner. So there's a spot down there where they have pictures of every type of STDs on your genitals, on your face. They show it. They show vaginas dripping. They show warts on penises with green goose bumps and purple ooze coming out, and they write under it what it is and what to take for it. Well, the Kata girls, when they catch some type of sexually transmitted situation, they go to the street drug dealer who, we're not talking drug dealer like cocaine or crack, but he's out there because he knows there's so many STDs out there. These girls and others will tell them what it is, or another girl will inspect the woman's genitals. Oh, this is so-and-so. They're inspecting themselves without they know it. Oh, I had that 3 years ago. You need to go take this pill, and that's how it's done. So they'll go and get the medication cheap from the street. Bingo, and their thing is gone, if it can go. If it's herpes or HIV, it's another story. We know that. And there are other things out there that I discovered about that don't go away. They're not going to kill you. So this is the life. Imagine. You get cramps. It's your time of the month, but you lay on a hard floor. You got to get up and walk around the market. No guarantee of making money. That has got to beat you down. So this is why, as some kind of relief, even though it may seem unrelated, to lay in a nice bed with a man that's treating you nice and taking you out, and you mean you're not going to give him some? Of course you will. Because you want that the next night for as long as he's there. So sex, depending on the situation, is looked at as a vehicle in different ways. We had the other young lady who was with the guy with the Airbnb, and she got pregnant. Right? These girls want to get pregnant. They just want to escape the reality. There are women that I know that, when I say regular, I mean, they're not in any dire situation, but the economy is so jacked up that they just turn into this because there's not many options. We went to a nursery, where they sell plants and stuff. There's a woman and a man, and the woman was in her 20s, and her man was in his 40s. And she was showing me this plant, and she was whispering to me, I need to get your number. I want to talk to you. And the way she did, I know what was up. I was like, my phone's broke. I don't have a phone. They're wrong like 3 minutes after that. She's like, you said you didn't have a phone. I said, no, that's my wife's phone. But yeah. So I want to go to America. I want to leave here. I said, what about your husband? I don't care. I want to go. And it's not where it's always that bad here. It's just that also the perception of America is off the chain. Maybe we're numb to it and we take it for granted. I don't know. And there are a lot of amenities that are, will spoil you over there for sure. I'm not going to lie. But the perception overall has many people looking to compromise. Big time. Tracy Bond, I didn't even see Uncle Fester for real. All I need is a light bulb. I'm gonna take a picture like that with a light bulb glowing. Black shirt, like that. Then he had like a dress looking long thing, whatever. Yeah, raw reality. Those houses are like slave dungeons. They're laid out just like you would, some crossways, some this way. They're all on each other. Crazy. And some of them, I ain't gonna lie, you can tell that they slept in bad conditions because one was helping me out and she turned abruptly and she was near me. I was like, whew, this chick's stinking. That's what it was. Yes, that's why they desperately want to come to America. But yeah, Charles Wilson says, sad but so true, pH balance off will cause brutal mental illness and issues to the mind and brain. Full of hell, they end up psychological damage, suicidal, different bad spirits. Exactly. So you don't know what, and I'm not trying to paint it as a bad place, but I have to tell with the downtrodden in many ways how it is. And then you have some other Ghanaians who are driving by in a luxury SUV with the windows rolled up, looking down at the people who are suffering. So it's not the racism, it's the classism out here, you know? It's amazing to see the differences and stuff, you know? But yeah, there are a lot of older people, which, you know, I forget my age, right? I'm like, damn, he's old. He's 50 years old. I'm like, you're 10 years older than that. What are you talking about? I forget. But there's a lot of resentment. Not everybody, but it's a special kind of resentment that some of the people have here. Resentment is resentment, but for the older people, it's almost like, look at you. You came here. You left America. It's almost like a diss. You're coming here to live better than me, but I want to go to America and I can't go. Or you live this life like you can't fool me. You're dressing down, but I know you got luxury vehicles, SUVs. You live in a mansion. If I had that much money, this place would have been done. It takes time and a budget. But there's that perception. And so what I've learned is that I have to ask myself, what do they see when they see me? What's their perception of me when they see me? Right? I don't want to try too hard to endear myself to them because it's going to come off fake, like I'm trying to hide something. You know? So you have all these different mindsets because you don't know who is exposed to more to know the deal. When you deal with some who have traveled to the States or the UK, they kind of understand. They know the difference. I also get a lot of respect for just moving amongst the people that I know. It's like, Lance, I saw you hop off the Trocho and you did this. You have adapted. I said, I adapted from day one. Because I'm a down to earth type of person. I don't walk around with this inflated whatever. And I go with the flow. I remember I was way out somewhere in the country, and this is when I came to visit for those first weeks back in 2019. And I had to use the bathroom, and it wasn't a number one. And so this one guy said, come with me. I will show you. This is not in the crowd now. This is way out. So we walked down like 3 streets, and I'm like, man, I won't have to go to the spot over there. I'll probably go on myself and won't have a need. No, we're almost there. So there were these little doors, little makeshift like stalls, and there was no toilet. It was in a hole in the ground. And they had ripped up pieces of newspaper there. A lot of it. And that was for the use, and then put in this garbage can. So I'm not going to lie. I'm going to say what it was. You had shitty newspapers in this small garbage can. Now, could you imagine? Too much information, but newspaper ain't got no grip on it. It's not absorbent. So you got to crumple up the paper and use a lot of it and press hard and make them ridges in the paper. And also, people are going to think I'm ragging Ghana. I'm not. Also, the customer service in the restaurants are bad. The maintenance in a lot of the restaurants are bad. You have some good restaurants now. You have some world-class places out here now. Don't get me wrong. If you go to a place that's off the beaten path for the regular folks that live here, I'm going to tell you one thing. If you're within the sound of my voice, and you plan on coming out here or to several of the other countries out here, always carry toilet paper. Always carry toilet paper. The worst thing, you all dressed up and you go to a restaurant and you gotta go after you eat or before you eat or the middle of the time you eat, and you look and you say, man, there's nothing there except the 2 little inner rows looking at you, talking about, ha, 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 what you gonna do now? Ha, ha. Like, damn it. I knew I should have carried some toilet paper. Then you call to somebody. They come in the bathroom. They work there. Hey, brother, there's no paper in here. Oh, I'll bring something for you. And they bring you 2 napkins. It's like, I got a black American big behind, not big, I'm just saying, his 2 little pieces of, ain't gonna do nothing. There's only been so many ways you can throw that over and go for another shot. Come on. It's crazy. Let me see what Tracy Bond said. From the way you describe it, you're walking around Ghana like an American God coming to Ghana. That's how many receive it. Like you are the answer. You are the answer. And don't let them know that I'm on social media. You know what I mean? All these years and all this stuff and graphics and interviews and website and all. What? You're a walking ATM and a target too. Charles Wilson says they see your light and attack or scared or admire you and watch and observe your mindset and footsteps. Just be careful. They see you're a chosen one. They admire and hate chosen ones. I can't tell you, Charles, how much on point that is. And I wouldn't say it myself like that because who are you saying? He'd say he's a chosen one. Yes, they see your light. They see your enthusiasm. They see your enthusiasm for another day. You're out here, you're building your place and you walk, I got projects here. I'm coming online and vibing and whatever. So it's like, wait a second. He's not worried about money. Let me tell y'all something. I am not a rich man. I got a budget like everybody else. But they don't see it that way. Enthusiasm translates to you having lots of money. Because you got time to be enthusiastic about stuff. You're not going after just, like I said, I'm still in the system and I need money. I'm not rich. Things are tight sometimes. A lot of times. Right? But I can see where I stand is not where many stand mentally. And they see your enthusiasm and don't have a little camera in your hand. Oh, he's making $1 million off of YouTube. See? But yeah, even people that you know, who you've arrived here with, they will attack you if they see your enthusiasm. Some people come out here and change. I don't think I have. I'm the same person. I've evolved and I've grown. There's more branches on my tree, but it's not like I'm some drastically different person. If anything, the residue of America, whatever's bad that was on me, is stripped away more so. Now I have a broader, more three-dimensional outlook on things, which the more I travel, because hopefully when things settle down and things are done, I can travel to other places. And, I know people in other countries here that will help me to, travel on a budget, because it's not like, well, I gotta hurry back and get to this job or whatever. So, I can. There's somebody offered to have me come out, and I researched it. I'm like, oh no, I'm not putting it down, but the crime there, and the carjackings, and I'm not a person to like hear that and like, oh no, stereotype, no. But I really researched, and very small percentage of the people live above. Not here, I'm saying, but this is. I don't want to mention the country because I don't want to insult the person. But they're going through changes there, and that's not a place that I'd want to go to, because I stick out too. They'll really see Uncle Fester then. A whole head like a light bulb. Here it is. Let me see. Raw reality. The answer is right there in the various countries, Africa, but they do not see it because the crooked ass politicians are not care. Exactly. It's crazy. The corruption. And if you're a journalist or somebody who has a public voice, they will lock you up if you speak about the leaders here, which they're not leaders. So with all of this stuff that I'm around, whatever, I've learned a lot. And I will say, miraculously, somehow, some way, I have made some really phenomenal, monumental connections with people who are in high places according to their system that have told me the real deal. You wouldn't believe the connections that I've made. I didn't purposely, I'm going to make this connection. It fell right in my lap. You have the highest in the land. I know a person who works right under him with him every day. I'd call him right now. Unbelievable. Different factions of government and different things high up. And they're like, Lance, don't repeat this. And I'm not, because they'll show up at your door. The machine guns take you away, throw you in there. They would. They've done it to those who are here. I'm not going to push it because I stand out. So there's a lot of folks watching. You know, don't think your American ass is protected. We will snatch your ass up the same way. And the jails out here are no joke. In America, it's not a joke either. But you do have some legal rights of what they can and can't do. There's always COs that are looking to break the rules and do things. I know that because I worked around a lot of them when I worked in the prison, the jail. But out here, you'd rather go out in the bushes where there's a bunch of malaria-filled mosquitoes and a couple of pythons and copperheads and whatever than want to go in there. I talked to a guy who had just got out, and that was the very day I did not have my camera. And I said, I would have loved to get this on camera. He said, I had no problem talking about it, bro. I said, oh man, that would have been a good interview. So I don't care if I'm going to the backyard to take out the garbage, I'm bringing my camera. I might meet a talking snake or squirrel or something and have to catch it. Yes. Charles Wilson says, I'm a chosen one. I'm being knowing for myself since a little fella been knowing for over 45 years. We chose ones go through humiliation, rituals, witchcraft attacks daily. I'm glad that you're saying that, because I'll admit there's several here in the chat, and I feel I'm one too. I know I'm one, right? But this is not a condescending thing. You're gifted. You see things different. You're on a higher level. I've learned to not to have to apologize for that anymore. You know, the humiliation is right. The humility is right. The rituals, witchcraft attacks. Yes. Yes. I have knowledge since I've gotten out here. I don't care who hears it. I don't care who don't like it. But I had some fools sacrifice animals not in my name, like we wanted to do good. No, you want to snuff me. You want to wipe me off the face of the earth. I'm here. Twisted people who want to snuff you and destroy you, rip your heart out, tear you out from being who you are to the point where you don't even know who you are anymore, destroy your righteous momentum, kill off your connection to your mission in this world. Yes. And they running around believing in every little thing that comes their way. If the wind blows, they believe in this. If it blows this way, or somebody says something or whatever, confused. Mental issues in the beginning and still got them. But they have the world fooled and they can't stand me. I'm still here doing my thing. Running up and down the town, smearing my name, making up things about me to turn people against me. And I'm not saying it's about me. I'm telling you what I'm going through. But it's current, but I really ain't going through it because I'm detached from it. I'm protected. That's the thing. But you're still going to feel the effects of the attack. If I told you that you have a 1 foot impenetrable having a Mike Tyson moment. I'm sorry. I was talking for a couple hours already. Anyway, they couldn't be penetrated. Just 1 foot around you. If they throw a brick at you, you'll see it coming, bang, visible force field around you. You're human. You see a brick flying towards your head, you're going to duck. Even when you know that this thing is going to work. If a tiger runs up on you to jump on you, it can't even knock you down or bite you. But you're still a human where you feel it when you know the attempt is being made. You know what I mean? But no, you hold your head up. You know the universe has a plan for you. You are chosen. You are going to succeed. The victory is already there. And if you stay connected, nothing can stop you. Nothing will stop you. See? And that's the way I walk. And certain individuals can't stand it. They can't stand it because they're insecure. They doubt themselves. They know they're hateful. When you have a narcissist after you like that, and like I said earlier, they went through some kind of trauma, so much trauma in their youth, where on a mind level, intellectual level, they can speak to you and act normal and all that stuff, but they don't process emotions. They have no empathy. So what they do wrong to you, they don't feel no guilt for. And when they see you for what they can use out of you until they use you up. But when they use you up, they want you destroyed. They want you to not exist anymore as you were. They don't want you to have the righteous momentum that you had in what you do. And usually what you do is what they want for themselves. You see what I mean? What they want for themselves. If they can't take all of it and leave you deflated, leave you used, they haven't used you up enough. So you stand tall. There will be attacks, but know you got the victory. I'm still here. I'm still doing my thing. No matter how much envy is around, no matter how much people hope that it stops, they don't want you to shine as you are, the unique personality that you have and the effect that you have on the people around you in the world and in your world. They sit to the side and they'll even smile with you for a while to get to know you, to learn your rhythm, to be in your righteous training camp. You know, I always refer to boxing. They want to know how you're training, your techniques, how you get in shape. How are you made in the unique way that you're made? And they want to gut you and destroy you. They're envious of you. These people, like we were saying, are bots. And their purpose, you give them a purpose because their purpose is to destroy you and anybody like you in the world and anything of goodness. And sometimes, even though we know that they can't have any empathy, they got to have a moment where they know they're just all jacked up and on the wrong side of the fence. You see? Yeah. Don't let them come around you. Don't let them try. And the older we get and you're still successful, the more urgent their mission is. But it's sad that they have to feel alive in coming after you in a negative way, and they don't like it. The envy runs so deep with these people. There's certain incidents that I've noticed recently with people that are around me, people that I care for. It's like, wow. And then they'll turn it around on you like you did something wrong to them and even lie and look at you in your face and say that it didn't go that way after all you've given to these people. So that's what makes you know that when the attacks on you are so intense, you have no choice but to understand that you're chosen. They reinforce you knowing that you're chosen, and even that reinforcement they can't stand when you know. And like you know you are, Brother Charles, I'm glad you say it that way. I don't usually say it out, but I'm going to say it. I am chosen. Yes. And many here up and down this chat room are chosen. And many who are listening that are faceless that we don't even see are chosen. But there's always those entities around you. You can't help but have it around you that way. When you are. It's part of the game. But when you have that and they keep coming at you, you're human. Sometimes you feel it. But then you realize you're chosen. You're protected. There's certain things that are inherent already, built in. You just have to realize it. Like the little kid that was bullied and didn't realize he had a heavyweight punch. At the minute he decided to hit that bully, nobody ever messed with him ever again. That happened to me when I was 15 years old. I knocked this guy out of the block party. And off of that, I wasn't trying to act bad, but they're like, oh man, remember when Lance hit so-and-so and knocked him out at the block party? Everybody saw that one. I ain't have any problems from anybody. Then I got big and strong with muscles. They really didn't mess with me then. But the confidence, never walk like you have none. When you know that you are, you have it. Not the false confidence and bravado that these bots and these negative entities, these narcissistic do-nothings and going nowhere people have. Unbelievable. You see, do you hear the music behind me? When I go live, all of a sudden you want to play loud music. My mic can't pick that up. See, I got to deal with that sometime. When I write the book one day, when I tell the story one day, when I tell you some things in private, wow. Folks will go out of their way to do anything to mess up what you're doing. But I got that covered. That's right. Let me put this up by flash mail. Your good energy is in such a way that everything you touch turns into gold. People have done dirt to others and have lost their connection to source. So they want your good energy. Don't talk to them. Damn right. Damn right. That's right. Raw Reality says, yes, demonic energy is super high right now. People close to you are turning on you. Yes. Charles Wilson, we chose the ones that are the most powerful people on the planet. They fear us. They know who we are. They know who we are. Who we are. Don't fear death at all, period. That's right. That's right. Let go of the fear. Fear causes you to lose your protection. It brings down your high vibrational protected shield. Yes, Tamara Hickman said on Facebook, thanks, Revelations 2024. Yes, it is what it is. That's the fact. We got to do a show on that, and I want you all here. What I'll do, I won't just throw it up to the last minute. Maybe like next weekend, we'll talk about chosen ones, right? We get some folks to come on in and talk. And that's all you're going to see in the title, chosen ones. I'll do it on the weekend, like around this time. Since we're here now, I'm assuming that we'll probably be free the same time next week. And that'd be a very good topic to talk on and go deep on, because there's so many brilliant individuals here who are chosen individuals and can break it down. See that? We done went from Cashapp scammers to talking about Ghana, telling some crazy stories. I want to lick your. What was that? The dickhead, Mr. Dick something headband or something. Yeah, all of this stuff. But I'm having a ball. And I really appreciate all of you being here. I'm gonna take one more sip before I wrap it down. Hold on, y'all. Some things just hit the spot. But yes, whenever you can on the computer, on your phone, go to LANCESCURV.com. I made an easier way to get on the conference line. Instead of just saying a number or whatever, I put the link up top on LANCESCURV.com, where you just go there. I mean, we have to be having a conversation. If you go there and there's nobody there, you're not going to hear anything. But if I say, hey, let's go to the conference line, I might even say it tonight. I'm probably just going to lay down and probably go there and let everybody else talk and zone out. And if we do, I will put it up. It'll be a continuation where we can kind of vibe. But if you go to LANCESCURV.com, right under the header in white letters, the black background and a red border, it says the conference line. Click on that and you're going to be in the conference line. There's got to be 2 people at least for everything to go through, for you to hear it and more. So I'm kind of all talked out. My mind is still racing, but I wouldn't mind laying down a little bit. I said I was going to write an article, but I may wait till early in the morning because I know I'm going to wake up early. I've been waking up early. Get up to go pee 4 o'clock in the morning. You don't go back. You stay up. I was like, whoa. Last week there was a morning in the morning I got up at 3:30. It's like, this is good. I like that. That's really what I wanted. The sun comes up. Hey, Lance, how long you been up, man? You were up when I went away. Now you here to greet me again? It's the healthiest way. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this down. Let me see if there's any more comments. You know, Dr. Tracy Bond, you're a YouTube bus driver. Thanks for today's Truth Drive, Lance. Truth Drive. I like that. I am your driver, Uncle Fester. Wow, Babylon has fallen. It is over for white supremacy. Oh yeah, we know that. That's a foregone conclusion. How dare they challenge me with their primitive skills? Wow. Yeah, so I'm going to wrap this down. Sorry for that glitch that happened earlier. It took about maybe 3 minutes off of the show, the audio, you know, and got right back on it. And I feel really good right now. I feel really good, just like when I started, you know. Wow. Let me see here. Asin, how are you? They say, hi, long time I used to follow you because of the wicked system. That is why I was off the line. Well, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. About to wrap it up, but I'm glad you're here. Notifications are not going out to everybody. You know, all that stuff going on. I don't even look at it no more. That's not going to stop me from creating and producing and having the conversations we need to have. Forge forward anyway. But always make sure to always check on YouTube to make sure you're still subscribed. And on LANCESCURV.com, everything is going to be there. And also there's a tab to join the WhatsApp. Let me see if I can drop a link here. Okay, let me go to WhatsApp first. I have the, okay, let me hit it here. Oh, I got to go right to the home page. All right. There it is. There it is. Okay, let me snatch that link and drop it in a room. If you're on WhatsApp, all you have to do is join by clicking this link. And 9 times out of 10, get the shows up there so you don't miss it. If you don't have time to go to the website, you can go there and I'll always have it up there. This show today, I think I have it up there already. Yeah. Let me check. Let me check. Well, that was the invite I think I sent to you, right? Well, click on that. You can come on in. It's only like about 18 people there joining. Things take time to grow. New habits formed. So that's what it is. That's just another way to keep in contact. Is there a gazillion ways that I have? But let me wrap this down. Yeah, you're welcome, Sin. You're welcome. Yes. Stay safe, sane, healthy, strong, upbeat, balanced through good, bad, and ugly, and worse. You're right, Charles Wilson. Yeah, I love the way you talk, brother. And I'm glad you're here. You know, you validate me by you being here. Everybody here validates me by being here. You know, I mean, I'm not looking for validation like an insecure person, but I'm just saying to have such great people around me. I always say I have one of the best chat rooms on the shows and family and community around me. And it motivates me greatly. You know, we have fun. We tell little jokes and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the quality people really have me stimulated and always looking for more. I'm always thinking a certain way when I'm out in the street. Is there something I need to get and bring back or videotape or talk or whatever? You know, so we're not just into any drama out there. And again, if I do speak about some celebrity or some drama that may seem to be gossip, it's not gossip, because at the end of the day, if I speak about it, I'm going to find something in it as a lesson. You see what I mean? It's got to be some kind of something that we can learn from and better ourselves, because it's going to be shoved down our face anyway. Real reality, I have to agree with you. I have to agree with you. I have to agree with you. It's not about me. It's all of you who are here. So that makes me feel good. They have such great people here. And it's an honor. You know, it's an honor. I've been out here for a long time in these streets. And I've been through some drama myself, and people who try to come around and destroy your stuff, whatever have you. And there will be still people who try that. who slip through the cracks. Granted, being online is wide open, but I have enough protection. There are a lot of people who are peeping in now that won't say anything. I know that, It might be real close to me or real far. It doesn't matter. I know who they are. My spirit tells me everything I need to know. And the more that I'm in this atmosphere, close to nature, it amplifies things for me. It's not a fake thing. For some people, it's fake and they try to front, let them do what they do and let me do what I do. We've been in this thing another couple of days, it'll be 23 years, and I don't see an end in sight. Although we all transition, what I mean is that enthusiasm, I'm not quitting. I'm not stopping. I'm just going to evolve and get better. Anyway, let me get ready to run. I'm going to check this chat one more time. I'm jumping around. Yes, Charles. Higher self, lower self. That's right. That's right. Boy, I feel strong now. Not that I felt weak, I felt good, but I'm just saying that I feel so much even stronger. Even though I'm a little fatigued and ready to sleep, but, I'm going to jump out to bed tomorrow in the morning time. Boy, I'm going to feel like Superman. Because I am Superman. We all are Superman and Superwoman, right? Anyway, much love to you all. Take care. I will speak to you in the morning or whenever I wake up. I'm going to hit a show. I don't want to do it too early because it'll be too early over there for you. But it'll be out there. Several things. And we're going to knock ourselves out. Anyway, much love to you, family. It's been wonderful. A little under 3 hours. I don't know how I did it, but I was full of energy. But we flowed, and that's the main thing. We enjoyed ourselves. We informed ourselves. We boosted each other up. And if you can come off a YouTube channel and feel that way, then we're doing something right. Because there's a lot of drama and chaos out there ready to enter your mind, body, and soul. We ain't having it. All right? Talk to you tomorrow. Have a good rest. Have a good evening. Peace.
Hello, this is Martha. Actually, today I got to meet my friend Lance. Yes, I got to meet my friend Lance. This is my first time meeting him in person, and he's a very kind man, seriously. I do talk with him on phone, on WhatsApp, but I've never got to meet him. But today, it's just extraordinary. He's very, anything you want to know about life, anything you want to know about just human, anything you want to know about life, please. YouTube, Telegram, Instagram, Twitter, all the social media channels, you got to find him there. He's very inspiring. He's very positive. If you want anything positive about life, please subscribe to LANCESCURV. And then every day you got to see different videos, different talks, different topics about life. See you.
Make sure to go to LANCESCURV.com, an online magazine established in 2001, containing written articles, thousands of talk shows and discussions, cutting-edge cartoons, as well as erotic expressions and tasteful adult photography. It's definitely not for the faint of heart. Once you get a taste of the world of LANCESCURV, trust me, you'll be back for more. LANCESCURV.com. Bold, raw, and uncut. Welcome to the mind of LANCESCURV, the most creatively profound man in cyberspace.